All right, y'all, what's going on? Okay, the beat stopped. I stepped away for a second. Hold on. All right. Oh, yeah. Daniel Evans said come in after the beat. Oh man, the beat done dropped, man. I stepped away, so we'll have to wait till next time. Gotta wait till next time, man. Okay, so let's get this thing started here. Got a few things to talk about. Got Brian Williams, what's going on? Daniel Edwards in the building. Got Mark in the building. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Grasso Arujo is in the works. For sure. Colton, what's going on? Let's see. Colton said, "Is Aspen last coach? I'd be mad if I was Aspen last." Yeah, man. Like, yeah. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, for sure, man. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people being sensitive. I mean, maybe this is the first time they actually were up close and personal with like how it goes in the corner, but that's how it goes. I mean, if you ain't doing anything, that's how it goes. But we're gonna talk. Let me just set this thing up here 1 second. All right, got about 8 people in here, so make sure you hit the like button. There we go. Let's see. If somebody asks you what you're doing, that's your chance to show them. It's supposed to wake you up and say, "Oh man, I ain't doing anything." That's my opinion. But we gonna get into that. Don't jump ahead here. You got me jumping ahead. Let's stop. All right. Then Mark said he got to go already. Well, all right, you can catch it a little bit later, man. We'll catch you later. All right, so yeah, welcome back, y'all, to another live stream. Another CB99 live stream. 2 beasts in the building. What's up? Mark Robertson, what's going on? Yeah, we got to talk about these fights, man. Let's talk about some of these different situations. I told y'all Saturday night I wanted to come back and talk about Aspen Ladd and her coach situation and how I felt about it. But first, I can officially tell y'all now, man. Manon passed the test, so that's your official triple threat. I know everybody was saying, "Oh, you gotta wait till she gets past Myra Bueno Silva till she passed the test," and she did. She passed the test, right? Not in KO fashion, but she got the job done. It was dominant, and that's what we wanted. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see some dominance from her. I wanted to see another level, and I think we saw that. I think a lot of people were just ready to, they're ready to judge. They're ready to judge and just say, okay, if this person can't stop an opponent, everybody's going to be ready to jump ship or call exposure. But to me, yeah, not everybody's going to get knocked out. And when you're talking about a full-fledged flyweight like Silva, I can understand why she was able to survive. I mean, we said it ourselves. She's a dog and she's tough. I called the stoppage, but I think it was a mixture of two things. I think it was a mixture of an approach from Manon, and it was also just the chin of Silva. It was the chin and the approach, combination of a few things. But what it all came down to was Manon passed. She passed the test, and she still looks better than the rest that I'm comparing them to. And just because somebody's not knocking everybody out doesn't take away from them, And if there was something wrong, I think she did do what she was supposed to do and make up for it. She compensated for whatever was wrong, and she got the dub, Unlike her opponent, who was trying to play the mind game, that don't work. The clown show don't work, and I don't like that. I don't like that. If anything, her corner, Myra Bueno Silva's corner, should have been on their Jim West. Let's be real. I would have been like, what are you doing? So when a person asks you, what are you doing? How you get offended by that? But that's another story. So the first thing I want to talk about with Manon, I know, like I said, the one thing people are going to jump on right away is the fact that she didn't get the stoppage. But like I said, not everybody's going to get it. I think she did execute a solid game plan for, like I said, I think something was off. I ain't going to lie. Something was off there. I think a little, injury or maybe a little issue with having to pull out of the fight the first time. I don't know. But let me see here. Let me read what you were saying. Colton said Silva focused way too much on taunting. And then when she got knocked down, she stood up and wanted to high five her. I know. I was like, come on now. That kick to the chest, come on. That shows you the power of Manon. That shows you the power and what she can still deliver. But, when it comes down to the chin, Silva's tough. I give her that, if anything. She's tough and she's funny. Daniel Weber said, Manon letting you down by decisively beating Silva in the third UFC fight shows her level. Right. It shows her level. Yeah, it let people down. I don't know why. And yeah, that kick is effective. That kick is effective. And she showed her way. Yeah, Brian, she would show her way too much respect at times. She did. That was her approach. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, for me, like I said, I'm not going to say somebody was perfect in there. Did I see her fight a perfect fight? Not perfect. Dominant, yes. Smart, yes. Effective, yes. Entertaining, yes. All of the above. But I'm not going to lie and say it was like perfect, whereas to the point it was like, oh yeah, she can do no wrong. She's ready for this. She's ready for that. No, I ain't going to say that. As somebody that's high on these three fighters, I'm still going to be a little critical. It's only right. I just can't say, oh, this person has everything together and they're ready. I think the reason the fight went to the decision is because Manon chose to throw some awkward combinations this time around, if you will. Like, I'm used to Manon just putting the 1-2 straight down the pipe. Even if you look at some of her early fights, her basic 1-2 is enough to get her opponent's respect and their attention. I don't think that she came in with that approach to just shoot the 1-2. She was trying to throw a lot of combinations here, which to me wasn't effective because Myra Bueno Silva's guard was so high, and she was hitting the hands a lot. So to me, it should have just been split the guard with a basic 1-2. Start with the body, go to the body. The body was there. Those side kicks were like tearing the body up. So if she started establishing a jab to the body, I think she would have got it. I think she would have gotten a knockout. She would have opened the head up so much more easier. It would have been an easier job for her. But that's why I say something looked off, because usually that's her approach, is to pop 1-2s, even go for head kicks. A head kick would have probably been more damaging, even around the high guard. She could have still landed some good shots there because she was focused on the body with kicks. So eventually, if she was throwing some head shots, she could have got it, So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm critical about, just watching from the outside. I'm not going to say, okay, since this person doesn't knock somebody out that they're done. No, like, there's certain things you can clean up, and we can, there's certain things you can clean up, and we can kind of go from there and just say, okay, you clean these couple of things up. It's not like you need to change a whole game plan or develop a whole new technique like some of these young fighters have to do out here. You know, Manon still had something going for it. It was just like an off night where I think if it was told to her early, maybe she would abandon that right hook. Because I don't think that right hook was very effective in this fight. You know, she was busy, you know, throwing flurries and missing with that right hook at times. I was just like, just stop throwing that shot, because every time you miss it, it's going to take air out of you. You know, it's going to take the wind out of you. You know, you're going to gas out early, because the hook she was ending with was missing like about a mile, you know, at times. And when she would miss it, you know, you could see like the force she was putting behind it. Like she was throwing the right hook with hard intentions, but she was missing. Even the one that she would land, you know, to hit the guard. So to me, it was like, abandon that shot, stick to the 1-2 down the pipe, you know, go to the body, jab to the body, and eventually Manon will get her out of there. And I think that's what it was. Like, Silva was durable. Yeah, Ulysses Silva's durable, but the knockout was there, especially if a fighter's not throwing back and, you know, the body is wide open to be hit. And you seen the strength difference as well. It was there. I just think there was a little bit of off approach on Manon Fiorot's part here. You know, maybe trying to, what's the word? I know she wanted to go in here and make that statement. You know, she wanted to go in here and make that knockout statement. And maybe that was a lot of pressure on her. And when it didn't come, well, maybe she was thinking of that so much that she was in there trying to push punches. I noticed she was pushing a lot with her combinations too. Like, they didn't seem as stiff and as hard. Like, she would step into the shots a lot instead of just fully extending. Like, when she fully extended in the past couple of fights, she stops at mid-range. Like, she doesn't fully step into the pocket after landing that 3-punch combination. It just seemed like she was pushing it too much. But, like, you go back and look at some of her early fights, the 1-2 stops at mid-range because she's fully extended, and, you know, the power's already traveling at that mid-range, and it's already connected because the reach is long, you know? So those mid-range shots coming in doubles are more effective than like a flurry that you push onto an opponent that's not really set up at a good angle. You know what I mean? Let's see. 2B said, by the way, those throwing shade on her not finishing is ridiculous. 3-0 in the UFC. Most people lose by their second fight. She was literally awarded 30-26 by one judge. People need to chill. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like, that shows you like her dominance, man. And the fight reminds me of a boxing match, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. I'm going to just kind of compare it to this one boxing match. When you don't score knockouts, people get mad. Like, when they hold you to a certain standard, they get mad. And I ain't like that. Like, I know the knockouts don't come. I picked a knockout just because she picked one and she said she was going to do it. So I said, okay, maybe she's going to do it. But if you add up what Silva has, not everybody's going to get knocked out. Colton said, does Silva have a chin, or does Manon not pack much power? No, Silva has a chin, but Manon didn't execute the right type of power shots or the right type of game plan to get the knockout. You know, if you go in there and just throw hard punches and your opponent sees them coming, they're not going to knock them out. You know, high guard, you keep hitting them. They can be the hardest shots in the world, but as long as they see them coming and they have the guard up, it's not going to hurt. It all came down to how she was throwing them this time and how she executed it. Cole said her stock went down. Nah, like, I don't understand how her stock goes down. Like, you know, if she would have went in there and dominated, people would say, oh, this wasn't a great performance. You know, that she beat a mismatched opponent again. You know, so if you go in there and dominate 30-26, 30-27, I mean, how does your stock go down? You know, tell me that. Yeah, Brian, we never talk about that. Like, Manon versus Valentina, no, we're talking about her getting into the top 10. Like, who mentions that? That's why I want to know. Like, who says she's ready for that? Like, saying potential means she has the potential to get there, but we're not even matching her up with Valentina. I don't even know who does that. Like, I'm still trying to match her up with Andrea Lee and Andrade. You know what I mean? Like, those are the fights I want to see her in there with Jake Hagan. I want to see her dominate the division, and then we'll talk about the champ, but not now. Wait, somebody said something about some tape. Hold on. Oh, Daniel Edwards said having tape studied Silva Manon approach the fight correctly. In my humble opinion, she's a winner. Yeah. Yeah. I think it wasn't. Not every fight's gonna be fought the way we think. It was a good approach because it won her the fight. It won her the fight. Of course, it could have been cleaner. And that's just me being not even a harsh critic, but just saying what could have got you the win a little easier. But other than that, I mean, I can't complain. And then I'm definitely not going to say you're a bad fighter or your stock goes down. I can't say your stock goes down just because they didn't get the knockout or because they didn't look the way you said they were going to look. No. Like, everybody makes mistakes. When you make mistakes and you can still come back and correct them and keep an opponent from capitalizing on them, you got to give the person credit. I think Stamina, what's up? He said Colton thinks that big old muscle behind his rib cage, so there's not always a bunch of logic thinking there. What? Muscle behind. Brian said, I know, but it's unrealistic that 2 years down the line she fights twice a year. You think it's unrealistic that she fights twice a year? Not really. I mean, the flyweight division is an active division, if that's what you mean. 125 is hurt by people comparing unranked new fighters to the champion. I don't think it's hurt by that. I think it's it would be hurt if they actually matched unranked fighters up with the champion. You know what I mean? Like, if they were actually unranked fighters being being put in with the champion, then damn, yeah, it would be hurting. But hearing what some fans say that it's time to put them in there with the champion, no, not at all. Like, we're putting the triple threat up against the top 10. Their job is to weed out the old and make a name for themselves, which I think they can do. But, like, as far as taking the champion right now, no, you never heard me say that. So I don't know, like, other people talking about that. No, like, she ain't ready for that. Not at all. All right, Brian said, no, I think if she fights twice a year and wins, it'll be 2 years before she gets a title shot. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I think so. Like, maybe 2, maybe 2.5. She said it's a step-by-step process. She's not rushing. So I think it's going to come down to, and you never know, man. Like, it could be a bump in the road, a style clash where she loses. You never know. Like, but if you were thinking logically, yeah, you could probably see it in another 2 years because she might get a top 15. Hell, she might get a top 10 next. I mean, I think a top 15 would be better. Like Roxy. Roxy would be good. The winner of Lee, that would be a good fight. Because I think Andrea Lee would promote a good test with her kickboxing and her judo and jiu-jitsu. As of lately, I think Lee has like a type of style that could be effective. And you never know, like Jessica I's boxing. Well, no, I don't think so. I was going to say Jessica I's boxing could give her trouble. I don't know. Manon's too much of a versatile fighter, even on her level where I think she could beat I. I think Lee would give her more trouble, if you match them two styles up. Marcus Bell said the fighter that we should be talking about at this moment who on the path of fighting Valentina is Taylor Santos. Yeah, if anything. If anything, that's the one out of the triple threat that's closest to it. Of course, JoJo could be present problems. You never know. That's why she got to go in there and dominate JoJo to make us say that. If anything, it's Taylor. Exactly. Because if we go down the list, she's the highest ranked. She's the highest ranked. But when we're talking about Manon and Miranda, we're talking about the potential there, and Taylor's already kind of stepped out of the box from these two because she's started first and she's gotten higher. To me, she's undefeated in the UFC. That Mayra Bueno fight, it was close, man. It was close, man. And I think she won it. All right, let's see, man. Y'all gotta make sure y'all hit the like button on here, yo, because I see I got like 15 people in here. And like I said, if you hit the like, notifications go out, because the notifications don't be going out, it seems. So, now that you're in here, just hit the like button. Let me see. Mark Robinson said we may have to start rethinking who is justified in getting the title shot at Val. I don't see many long winning streaks in the future 125. I think a lot of these girls will end up beating each other. Yeah. That's a point I brought up before, Mark. Like the 125-pound division, aside from the champion, is always going to be 50-50. There's always going to be like style clash and fighters styles canceling somebody out and somebody winning, so nobody's really gonna go on a winning streak. I think Taylor can. I think Manon can, and Miranda should be on one now. She was just robbed, in my opinion, by Macy, but they are on good win streaks. I could see, I like Casey O'Neill, but I could see eventually somebody having the style to beat her right now. That's no disrespect. I'm just saying, from what I've seen from her, from Casey O'Neill, I can't say she's a big threat. I like her attitude. I love her drive. But there's more work that needs to be done with her style. Casey O'Neill, she's got those good characteristics, good mentality about her. She's not a ducker, but there's still some technical things that need to be worked out with Casey O'Neill. So that's why I just don't fully see her as a big threat, because I think Manon, Miranda, and Taylor, they have all those boxes checked. They want to fight. They don't duck. They got good skills. A little bit more advanced than her. Even Erin Blanchfield, in my opinion, shows more advancement than Casey. Casey's raw talent, though. Casey's raw, though. She's going to be there soon if she can tighten up. Yeah, I think after Valentina got her first 6 title defenses out of the way, it's going to be hard now, because 6, that's the majority of the top 10, right? 5-6 people she's already beat. That's the majority of the top 10. So everybody else from there is going to be a reach or a rematch. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, O'Neal is brute and raw. She's good with her transition on the ground, her wrestling. She's strong, but there's got to be more polish there, man. There's got to be more polish with her striking. More polish with the got to be defense, because Manon could tee off on her. Let's be real. Manon would tee off on a fighter like Casey O'Neill as of right now. And I think Miranda has the grappling and the IQ to deal with a fighter like Casey O'Neill. Going higher, Taylor Santos is strong enough to deal with Casey O'Neill, I think. So I think Casey just needs a better approach with her striking. Got to hit harder on the feet. She's tough on the ground, but there's got to be a little bit more. You got to smooth out those rough edges with her, Brian Edwards said, "What I missed the wife call." We were talking about Casey O'Neill not being a threat like these three. That's basically what I'm talking about. Casey O'Neill, is not a triple, part of the triple threat. She's not, because I need to see a little bit more from her. That's what we were talking about. And, I'm just comparing it to Manon's approach. She's older, she's wiser, just heartless. Well, that she got that heartless look. Casey's got that, but, Casey just got to get that maturity about her in the technical aspect. Colton said, I think Taylor is the most interesting fight for Valentina, but she really doesn't have a great shot. You almost have to let these girls build up for years. And that's true. That's true. I'm not going to lie. That is true. Like, everybody's going to be fighting their way to the top and getting a title shot, but are you really ready to be champion? That's the question. Like, on paper and off the eye test, so many people can go on a win streak, but it's like Lauren Murphy. She got a 5-fight win streak. She earned it, but does that necessarily mean that she's advanced to beat Valentina? Not at all. Not at all. And that's how it worked out. Marcus said half these fighters can't even get through Caitlin Chikagian or Andrade. You right, man. Like, Caitlin's I don't know, Marcus, I got a video coming, and I had to mention you in the video. I name drop you in the video because Caitlin Chikagian responded to Marcus Bell about who she should fight next, and Caitlin responded to your Taylor JoJo fight, and she was like, that's too long or something like that. But I mean, like, hey, you got to take the fight. You got to take the fight. So yeah, Marcus got through to her, and I thought that was interesting because, she would take that fight, but if she wants it, she's going to have to wait. I mean, everybody's full right now. Everybody's full right now. I like the fact that Caitlin Chikagian is out there now reaching out to these fans, because that's the only way she's going to get fights. If fans call for it, that's the only way you will get fights, Caitlin. Like, Dana's not really looking for you if people don't think you're putting butts in seats, right? But yeah, I just thought that was funny. I was like, I did a video, I'm going to put it out later, talking about Caitlin, and I saw Marcus posted up for her to fight Taylor if she beats JoJo, and she was like, that's kind of too long. I guess she would take the fight, but she wants one now, Which, if she wants a fight, like I said, Jessica I or Jennifer Meyer rematch, I don't know. She just wants to stay busy. Either one, I don't know. Stamina said, if it can't be settled on who's worthy, settle on who's available. The show must go on. That's what it's really coming down to with fighting the champion, really. High Five said, why match O'Neal with Manon? Manon deserves a top 10 fighter next. O'Neal needs another task, maybe Silva. Yeah, Silva would be a good fight for Casey O'Neal. Yeah, because Casey O'Neal, Silva could still beat a lot of fighters out there. Let's not get mistaken. But let's go back to this Manon thing here. I'm getting distracted. A couple more things I just wanted to talk about with her is the fact that, like I said, a lot of people, they mix up, what's the word here? I'm always looking for words here, because just thinking so many things go in my head about WMMA sometimes, and I'm just like asking myself questions. But Manon, I think people are ready for harsh criticism when people hype a fighter up, and people look for anything. That's what it is. Like, fighters can be doing their best work, but if it's not what the standard is supposed to be, which is knockout, that's how the fan thinks. They always want knockout. They're ready to come at you with pitchforks and torches, man. You know what I mean? So I think fans are being a little harsh here. Like I said, people saying she exposed. Of course, I think she was disappointed with her performance, because she wanted to knock out. Like I said, if she was disappointed, I was, because that means that something was a little off to her, and she couldn't execute it the way she wanted to, the way she imagined. So she's a little disappointed that I can be too, because I think that there were good moments in there for her to knock her out. You know, the body was there. You know, the breakdown was there. She just never fully got it. So yeah, and real quick, I just wanted to say this is what I kind of compare it to with boxing. You know, I know Marcus, he watches boxing. He knows what I'm talking about. Marcus Bell, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I had to compare it to these fights, and it's weird because the shots kind of look the same. Errol Spence Jr. in the welterweight division, you know, he's known as a pressure fighter, boxer, puncher, a finisher, body puncher. And, you know, he was knocking people out early in his career. But the minute, you know, he steps up in competition, and not just competition, but he steps up against a guy who's a little bit smaller, Mikey Garcia, who was also, you know, pound for pound champion at the time. This was 2 years ago. And Errol, he decides to switch gears and box this fight. You know, he chooses not to knock Mikey out, but he just outboxes Mikey Garcia for 12 rounds. And the thing is, Mikey's tough. He's durable. If you make a mistake, Mikey will make you pay. But everybody held Errol to this high standard. Like, if he doesn't knock him out, then that means Errol had issues. But if you look at this fight, Errol Spence never had an issue in this fight. He boxed comfortably for 12 rounds. He showcased his skills, how dominant he could be with his jab, his straight left hand, and just pot-shotting this guy for 12 rounds. He shut him out. Could have knocked him out, but he just shut him out. And because he chose to do that, you know, people say he's overrated. They say, oh, he's not as good as we thought. But he just showcased his skill. Like, he just did not go after the kill this time. He wanted to box and show people he could box a boxer, which he did. You know, and I think that's impressive at times. Like, yeah, you on a big platform like this, you know, you should knock somebody out. But if it's in you to do this and you have something else on your mind, and a guy like Mikey is not a sitting duck, he's a good fighter. He's considered pound for pound best. And if you can take a pound for pound best to school for 12 rounds, to me, that's just as impressive. Because you showed him that his skill is not on your level. And I just kind of think it was the same thing with Manon Saturday. You know, she was able to get the fight in another way. She got the win in another way that didn't rub the fans the right way. You know, it rubbed them the wrong way. You know, fans wanted this, but instead they got that. See, me being this fight fan, I know that just because we want this doesn't always mean we're going to get that. I mean, just because we want this doesn't mean we're always going to get this. We could get that. You know, so as much as we say combat sports, math doesn't add up, then we should know that our math isn't going to add up perfect. Like, she's not going to get a knockout all the time. You know, so-and-so is not going to get a knockout. Valentina's not going to knock everybody out, right? So you have to respect the grind, respect the work that's put in, and enjoy just see somebody get a pummeling every now and then. You know what I mean? Like, when it came down to it, I was entertained. Because Manon, okay, this girl keep on shaking her head, and then Manon kicked her in the chest. Come on, that was entertainment right there. She punked her and made her give her a high five. Like, that's how you know when if somebody's hurt, they got to give you props because you kicked them in the chest and you dropped them. Come on, that was fun. And just her shaking her head all night and get pummeled. Like, I like when a fighter can hold it together and just keep saying, okay, you keep doing this, I'm gonna just keep whooping you. You know, shake your head, show me how good your chin is, but I got what you don't have, and that's skills. So I'm cool with it. I like it. And, you know, watching the fight a third time, first and second time around, I kind of thought Manon got buzzed a couple of times, but I don't think she really got hurt, man. Like, I look back at a couple of shots. Maybe she got froze up a little bit. She freezed up a little when Silva would connect, but that's just how it goes, man. Like, other than that, she was never on wobbly legs. I mean, I know after the fight, a little limp was there, but she was never on like wobbly legs, like off a punch to the chin. She showed nice defense on the inside, and she slipped nice. So another thing I will say, I'm not gonna lie, in this fight, I thought her ground game was looking better than her stand up. I mean, was that just me? I don't know. Let me check this comment section real quick here. High Five said people don't see Silva as one of the toughest in 125, even though she's not ranked, and her ground game is more than average. Yeah, her ground game is good. She's always dangerous. Manon was doing her best not to make mistakes that she didn't vary. Right, I agree. Manon isn't hype. She owned all her wins and wasn't gifted her wins. Right, exactly. Like Macy, she wasn't. Stamina said Fiorot would make a delicious mess out of Barber. I like that. Yeah, a delicious mess. It'd be great to watch, but a waste of fight slot on a card. Now that's a fight I don't see going the distance. So it was way too focused on her showboating. I don't know what was going on, man. Yeah, a delicious mess. That's a good way to put it. And yes, high five. Silva's only success was kicks to Manon's right calf. Her kick to the calf was very effective when she let it go. And we were talking about that, man. I saw the little limp. Like right after, she got off the mic. I saw her walking with the trainer. I kind of saw the limp there. I don't know if it was something she came in with or was the kicks that hard, because the first one that Silva caught her with kind of made her shoot out. Like, you saw a reaction. I saw a reaction. I did. So aside from that, I didn't really see her get hurt with anything else. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was an injury there or what. Because even when she was pushing her punches before she got hit, there was something there. I don't know. But she won. She showed a plan B. When knockouts don't come and the beating isn't that easy, you just got to go in there and show that you still want it and be just as dominant another way. So, yeah, that's why I like it too. Like I said, there's always going to be this situation in boxing or MMA. Fighters that are held to a high standard, the minute you don't perform the way the casuals want you to, then you're hyped up, or then you're gonna lose. If you choose to fight this way, then people aren't gonna be behind you. They're gonna say, you don't have the skill. So I don't listen to them. I still rate her performance high. Of course, everybody makes mistakes, but they were she compensated for them. From here, I like to see Roxy, like I said, or Lee I winner in 2022, because we only got 2 months left. So she comes back in February or March. Who do y'all think? Who do you think Manon should return against? Put it here before we move on. Marcus says Silva only looked like Silva in a small sequence of the fight. Silva's dangerous. Silva's still dangerous though, yeah. And when you say Silva only looked like Silva in a small sequence of the fight, who's to blame? Silva, right? The fighter's to blame for that. Nobody else is to blame. So if you choose to be the clown, if you choose to be the showboat, then you lose so many more points, right? So who next for Manon Fiorot? Put it in the comment section, and then we can move on here. And some quick talk. Ariane Carnelossi. Like I was saying, Ariane Carnelossi, I think she did a good job with her execution. Like, still some stuff to work on, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, I kept saying this. Like, Carnelossi though she's on a low level, she's got something that Mackenzie Dern needs. Let's be real. And vice versa. But I'm just saying, like, Carnelossi has something that Mackenzie Dern needs, and that's that ability to strike much smarter. Like, she would throw these wide shots, but they were much better than what Mackenzie Dern was doing to Rodriguez, right? Of course, Carnelossi didn't have to worry about the power from Nunes because she was never setting anything up with a jab, but overall, Carnelossi showed you how to close the distance and wrestle and clinch up and slowly take a fighter to the ground, right? I think Carnelossi, of course, was taking on a fighter that had been inactive. But again, that was one of the things I had to pull from that fight. Because we're just coming off of Dern Rodriguez, and we just saw how Dern had so much trouble taking down a big fight. Well, not a big fighter, but a long, tall fighter. She had no control over the body. But if you look at Carnelossi here, she said, "Look, I'm gonna take this striker down. I'm gonna stay in her chest, and I'm gonna just slowly sit her down." And that's what it came down to with her. Like, she wasn't like forcing it. She just used her grappling and her wrestling and good head control. Like, she had the underhook solid, whereas Mackenzie Dern is just grabbing body. She's just grabbing body, man. Like, it's not impressive. You just can't grab body like that. So, I don't know, man. Ariane Carnelossi from here, she called out Felice. Yeah, Marcus, she did. At the post-press fight, she said she wanted Felice next and give it to her. I mean, she made a good point. Felice is number 15, but why? Right? I mean, yes, a winnable fight for Carnelossi, but that's what you got to do to play the game, right? Chess. You go in there. You just go in there and you get it. You go in there and get that opponent who's kind of dormant, just sitting there. You take their spot and you move in, because I think there's a lot of fighters we could name that could be 15 instead of Felice Herrig right now, right? For real. Oh, man. So, for Carnelossi, I like Godinez. That'd be a good fight. That's the styles we need to see in there. That would be excellent. That's where Loopy needs to be, 115. I see a lot of potential in Loopy, and I need to see her at strawweight, man, because I think she could go somewhere. That's why I don't want to see her in any more flyweight fights. I know everybody keeps saying, "Oh, she was 125, a little bit stronger. She would have destroyed Luana." But, come on. I don't know. If she couldn't destroy Luana here, and Luana's not that much of a threat, I don't think so. And if she did beat Luana, I don't see her beating some of the other flyweights out there, Who is Cook? You mean Chikagan? I'm going to assume he means Chikagan, He said, who's Cook? Chikagan, right? Talk about Chukagian. Caitlin Chukagian. Chukagaigan. Yes, I think he's talking about Chikagan. Brian Williams said, Colton, he just called you a casual. Who called him a casual? I didn't say anything. Brian said I called somebody a casual. Who did I call a casual? Did I call somebody a casual? Oh, Brian said, no, I do. Those kicks hurt. Even the body kicks caught Manon off guard. She blocked a lot of body kicks. Like, I think they didn't hurt. The kicks hurt. The calf kicks hurt, but I don't think the body kicks really hurt. Like, because if they would have hurt, she would have, like, resorted to, respecting her. But she never respected Myra Buenos Silva. No. If I admit, I ain't go anywhere. I've been here. Yeah, I don't think her kicks hurt the, they got a little reaction, but other than that, I don't think the kicks hurt the body. Not at all. I don't know, man. Like the lower half, I'm just looking at this lower half of strawweights. There's so many other fighters that could be in the top 15 right now other than Felice Herrig. You got to put Felice Herrig, like, why is she still in there? Like, next to Joanna, I'm asking, like, why is she still in there? You know? Out of these two in a strawweight, if I have to, like, ask myself a question, why are these two here? But Estela Nunes, I mean, to me, she comes from the Muay Thai background. Like, she just did not have a good game plan of, measuring range on a grappler. Like, she did not know how to pop a jab. She kept trying to throw right hands to score something big, but she looked lost, man. She looked lost. Every time she was back to the fence, she didn't know how to dip out. She would get crowded quick and just get taken down. Like, there's no ground game there with Estela Nunes. And that's going to be something she needs to survive, trying to get to the top here, man. I don't know. Hold on. But let's talk about this Aspen last situation, because, Saturday I wanted to go into a little bit more just because y'all brought it up, and then I was looking back at it, and I said, man, I was watching the fight with the sound down the whole time, so I didn't really get to hear what he was saying, right? But when I went back and listened, I was like, okay, let me see. That's all he said? So let's jump on that now. So bring y'all's points back now. We'll talk. Colton said Manon and Andrade or Maya would be good. Not yet. I don't think that's too big of a jump. I say Manon versus somebody in the lower half first. Okay, Cole said. Cole said he don't care what anybody has to say. He says he was out of line. Okay, let me look. Let me look again. Somebody posted up the audio on a link here, and we gonna listen. Well, if you can't hear it, that's fine. But I want to just give you my reaction here. Aspen's coach. I just didn't hear the harshness to it. I mean, I've heard worse. Jim West. I mean, he had to apologize, but so let me before we get into it. So it's up to a coach to try, to wake up fighters in certain situations, and I think some coaches, they know. Some coaches, okay, he's been with her for a while, Some coaches, they know what type of phrases, what type of energy they have to bring to a fighter to wake them up, And sometimes if the fighter is trying to execute, or if they're even partly there, if they're at least trying, a coach, he'll kind of stay in tune. He'll stay in sync with the fighter. They'll try to work till they both get to the middle and they both get what they want, which is the victory, right? But if the fighter is off sync, stamina, what I mean, music, if one it's like a symphony, let's put it that way. If one string is on this pitch and the other string is here, you're going to ask that person, what are you doing? You're going to ask them, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to play here? But at least if you're in practice, if y'all are working, y'all are rehearsing, y'all are going to be trying to find that vibe. And, as you get closer and closer, there's really not going to be any arguments like that. Like, you're just saying something out of line. You just be like, hey, you need to tighten up on this. Like, hey, let's bring it back down to this level, down to this pitch. But if, again, you're way over here and I'm down here and you continue to stay out here, I'm going to ask you that myself. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you even trying to fight? Or are you even trying to play? Are you even, so I liken it to that situation, man, because it's like, Aspen Ladd from the jump, tell me what she was doing the first and second round. Like, was she doing anything to make him not say that? Because he has a job to do and she has a job to do. And if you're not even trying to do that job, he is going to ask you that question. It's like, if I'm a manager at McDonald's and the person that's supposed to be flipping burgers is just sitting there on his phone, or if he's just staring at the grill, I'm going to ask him, like, what are you doing? We got a job to do. I'm going to say, what are you doing? Or I might even say, what the F are you doing if you continue to just stare at me or stare at the grill? Again, that's a different type of job, but it's the same thing. We gotta get this going. I'm a manager at McDonald's. It's lunch hour, and you staring at the grill. Okay. This is a situation here where your life is on the line, and you ain't doing nothing. You're not doing anything. You didn't do anything the first round. You didn't do anything the second round. You didn't do anything the third round. So why did he not have the right to approach the way he did? Look, I come from a background where these coaches, they'll go in on you even worse. Like, this is tame. That's why I'm saying this generation now, we're very, very sensitive and very, very tame with a lot of stuff, because I don't care, man or woman, if you in a fight game and your life is on the line, you need to treat it that way. And he was treating it that way. He was trying to wake her up and say, what are you doing? Let me check these comments. 222 Hayes, I don't care what no one says. Her coach was not being abusive. People getting way too sensitive. Exactly. Colton, asking what are you doing is not constructive criticism. But if your fighter is not doing anything, I'm going to ask the same thing. Okay? Like, she's not giving him anything to criticize because she's not constructive in there. So it's going to come down to me saying, what are you doing? Because this is a fight and you're not trying. You're not executing what we went over. Okay? So when it comes down to it, he asked her the right question. I've heard this before. If you look at some of these, this is old to me. That's why I said this is old. This is tame. Like, go back and listen to Emmanuel Stewart, these real legends in training. Listen to Emmanuel Stewart. Listen to Zab Judah's father. His name escapes me. In boxing. Listen to Ronnie Shields. Who's another name just came over my head here in boxing too. Like I said, Emmanuel Stewart. Roger Mayweather, rest in peace. Roger Mayweather, listen to these trainers when you're not following instructions. Things are going to get hard on you. That's why you got to be in sync. And he's just doing his job. As a coach, you fall in line and we'll talk. I talk to you just like this, like, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. But if you're not doing anything fight related, then it is like, what are you doing at this point? Hang on here. I was trying to find the link. To me, it is like, what are you doing is Colton is the right question, because I've heard it before and it wakes fighters up. Because I've seen fighters before not move their head and their trainer say, what are you doing out there? Do you like getting hit? And then that person says, oh, okay, like, all right, well, all right, I'll start doing better. Or they'll be like, dang, he just woke me up. You know what I mean? What am I doing? It's like when your dad asks you, like, what are you doing with your life as a kid? You get woken up and you say, you're right, man. Like, I'm not trying hard enough like I need to be. So Jim West, to me, I know he apologized, but I don't think he really needed to. And I know people will come at me for this, like, but this is such tame stuff, man. Like, come on, like, I'm looking from his side in his relationship with her. He cares about her. He doesn't want to see his fighter in there and go get killed. So he's like, wake up. What are you doing? Put it together, Suit up for war. This is war. This is your life on the line, and you ain't doing anything. This is serious. She lucky Norma Dumont wasn't guns blazing on her. Right? She was lucky that Norma Dumont was not on her behind. Because if she did, she probably would have tore her up. She lucky she just took her to school with a jab in this fight. Imagine if this was Nunes or something. You gonna take that same approach with Nunes? I mean, the passion was flowing here because he cares about the person. And he wants her to succeed. And if a person is not showing any signs of success or wanting success in there, then you will say, what is your purpose? What are you doing? So, yeah, Colton, you got your opinion. Like, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you coming from. So I'm no disrespect at all to you. That's why I say, yeah, anybody free with their opinion. You know what I mean? Like, everybody had their opinion. Just don't go overboard with all the name calling. But I see where you coming from. But like I said, from a harder side, from here, to get your point across, something as simple as what are you doing should wake you up. And it shouldn't break you. Because if you let words break you, then you will not succeed, bro. Because nothing was harsh about that. Nothing at all. Just because Miesha Tate chimed in and called him a douche, that does not make it valid. Just because she's a fighter does not make it valid. Because she's not perfect. She ain't perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I'll argue with her all day on that. Like, she should know that this is a rough game. And words in the heat of the moment in this situation are not personal. Because if you tell me that, then that's what I want to hear. If you tell me that, I'll be like, oh, snap. Like, I must be looking bad. Because you got to remember, he's from the outside looking in. And it looks even worse for him than it does us. You know what I mean? Like, Miesha got time to analyze this and that because she's not personally invested in it like that. She can try to. Thing with Miesha Tate in this situation is she's trying to cater to the fighter's feelings right now. Whereas he's looking at the fighter's safety. Big difference, okay? When you're looking at the fighter's safety, you're going to step out of that box. And you're not going to be thinking about their feelings. You're going to be thinking about them coming home safe. And to get them home safe, ask Virgil Hill, another trainer in boxing. You got to wake their behinds up with some tough love. That's what that is. And when you in a fight game, women, you want to be in a fight game? I still say, okay, women fight women. Of course, yeah, they're different. But if you're in a fight game, the pain is the same. Your life is still on the line. And you got to take it how it's given to you. If that's part of your training, and look, and you know him, and you know what you're supposed to do, don't give him reason to say that. Don't give him reason to say that. Brian Williams said, man, if you think he was harsh, it's because that's how you would feel being coaches like that. They have a professional relationship. That's not the first he said that kind of thing to her. Go back to the, y'all need to go back. Good point, Brian. Y'all need to go back to the Yana Kunaskai Aspen Ladd fight. This must be y'all first go round. Not everybody in here, but I'm just saying, like, Miesha Tate should know this. Go back to the Yana Kunaskai Aspen Ladd fight. After the second round, go back and listen to how Wes approached her in that fight. Go back and listen then and get back to me. All right? Listen to how you talk. Listen to how you talk to Aspen Ladd in that Yana Kunaskai fight after the second round. Go back and listen to that. And go see what it did for her in that moment. Go see what it did for her in that moment. Go back and listen and see what it did for her. It woke her up, lit a fire under her, and she got the win. I think he knows his fighter. That's my next point. I think he knows his fighter. You know, a lot of people out here saying, oh, he's harsh, he's sensitive. Even other fighters saying that. He knows his fighter. He knows what he can say and what he can do. All right, Stamina posted this. I'm going to click on this link, Stamina. Let me see what you got. But don't tell me something different about little, what are you doing? Or do you want to fight? That's petty, man. Like, y'all act like y'all never heard this before. And again, I ain't talking to the chat. I'm just talking in general here. And I think it comes down to when oh, okay, yeah, you sent that. Okay, Stammer, that's what you sent me. Good work. Thank you, because I didn't want to have to look that up. Because I was just about to look it up. Thanks for sending that. And the thing is, because she lost, now everybody wants to make excuses for her. And now everybody wants to make excuses. Oh, he was too harsh. But whenever she won, appreciate that, Stam. And I was just talking about it, and you sent the link because I was like, let me go look for it. Click on that link, y'all. Click on that link, and let me turn it up. So Wes Toller, he's cussing her out here, man. And that's how you got to do. Look at that focus on her face. He said, get off the cage, stay in the phone book, punch the F out of her. Vein popping out of his neck. He said, Aspen, you got to go. Yeah, she's up. That's what she needed. And look at this. Here she comes. Boom. Left hook. Drops Yana Konaskaya. Goes to work. So that ain't nothing new. Just like I said, that ain't nothing new, y'all. Yeah, click on that link, y'all. Click on it. I don't know where people were coming from. So that was posted by at Cody MMA. And he said, funny how nobody had a problem with his coaching style after that fight. And somebody in the comment section made a good point. They said if she had lost that fight, people would be in it like they doing right now. They would be complaining right now. So it's just one of those situations where I'm like, people chimed in, and I think they caught on to what Miesha Tate said and a couple of UFC fighters said. Even Michael Bisping was trying to say the approach was wrong. Man, come on. Like, I've heard worse. I've heard a lot worse. So, yeah, I don't think he needs to apologize for that, in my opinion. I mean, this is what he said on IG. Let's see. Tonight was not our night. It's been our night many, many times at the highest level, but not tonight. I blame myself, though it may not be my fault. See, I blame myself, though it may not be my fault. It's not up for debate. I take all the blame. Yes, after the first couple of rounds, I may have been a little harsh, but I know Aspen at the time some technical conversation was not in the cards being down 3 rounds. Nonetheless, I own it, and I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. Again, no need to apologize. No need to apologize. Because technical work was not going to work. That's another point, Colton. Like, technical work was not going to work. Her mind needed to be brought back into fight mode and was not there. The fight was not there in her, so you had to ask that question. Mark Robinson said, whatever you doing, listen, if you don't actually fight this next round, I'm stopping this fight because I would rather you not fight. Exactly. Because you don't want to embarrass yourself. You're better than this. That's a good point, Mark Robinson. I heard Buddy McGirt, trainers like that say that all the time, man. They're like, you want me to throw the towel in? You ain't doing nothing, let me throw the towel in. If you don't do anything, I'm going to throw the towel in. Okay? That's what it usually comes down to. If you only fight, I'm going to throw the towel in. So, I would do that too. I would do that too. And when you say that, it'll make the person say, "Oh, no, 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 I got it. I'm here. I'm back. I'm back to reality. We're here to fight." So going back and listening to how he approached the Yanakuna Sky fight, because I heard that the other night, man. I heard that the other night, and when I was watching the Yanakuna Sky fight, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he going in, he getting her hyped up." And then when I saw her win, I was like, "Okay." And my approach was the same way with this fight. She didn't get the win. He did his job, but she just wasn't there. She just wasn't there. And I don't think that she really took it as harsh as Misha took it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, man. I just think a lot of people are getting too bent up about it. And that's, if you can't take that, then I don't know. I'm listening to some stuff here. See, he told her, "You're down 2-0. You gotta fight. You're down 2-0. You gotta effing fight." Down 3-0. See, that was not harsh because she wasn't doing anything. Everything they talked about in training and everything they talked about in the corner, there's nothing wrong with that. You're down 3-0, and you haven't tried, and you haven't given him anything to work off of, basically, okay? You haven't given him anything to analyze and say, okay, you got to adjust to this, you got to adjust to that. She basically didn't do anything. That's why he can't do his job, right? He can't do his job because she gave him nothing to work with. So he's going to ask, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" That's a perfectly honest question. He had nothing to work with. He can't tell her to try this or try that. Why? Because she hasn't tried anything. She hasn't tried anything. So he has nothing to go off of to get her to get a victory. It's just like telling her, "Do something, please. Do something. Try to fight." But she's got nothing. She's giving him nothing. So he's giving her this type of reaction. And that's something I have to break down to this generation now. If you don't do anything, if you don't perform on your job, you're going to get yelled at. Right? It's not about being sensitive. It's about you not working. I don't know. I don't know. Marcus Bell said, "I don't think Aspen Ladd was down on herself based on how her coach was talking to her. It was more of a not being able to execute, get the job done." Right. That's why I think Marcus, her reaction wasn't to her trainer because they know each other. It was more in the fact that she just was she couldn't pull the trigger. She couldn't pull the doggone trigger that night. That was the problem, man. And she was probably yelling at herself. She was probably mad at herself more than he was. So I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't see anything wrong with it. That's what it came down to for me. People have to stop being so sensitive. Can't take this sensitivity into a sport where you can die. Next thing it'll start penalizing coaches and taking points from coaches or disqualifying coaches or escorting them out because they're saying the wrong things. I don't get it, man. All I heard was somebody who was upset their fighter was down 3-0 and was giving them nothing to work with. That's all I heard. When somebody said, "What are you doing?" There's got to be a reason behind it. So, let me see. Who is this? Fighter Cameron Else said, "As a coach, you need to know exactly how and when to speak to your fighter in certain situations, certain ways. Otherwise, get it wrong in timing, it would be disastrous. Get it right like he did in her fight against Yana, legendary." For me watching this, his approach was working this time. So I look to make a different. His approach was working this time, so I look to make a different. What else did he post? Can't read it all. I don't know. Some people just, I don't know. Yeah, somebody said he knows how to motivate her. Would work on me, but not on some. She was doing her best Ronda Rousey impression. Wow. Somebody said, honestly, he was in the right. If it was a man, nobody would have a problem with it. Exactly. Yeah, like if it was a man, nobody would have a problem with it. And to me, this is the hurt game. So when you get in an octagon, man or woman, your life is on the line. You know, you can die in there. So if you approach the man the same way, you approach the woman the same way. Because when it comes down to training, y'all train in the same gyms. You want to get hit the same way. You want to spar. You want to grapple the same way. You know, so the training and the coaching, you can't change that. So the same way he gonna fire this person up, he gotta fire you up the same way. Because again, lives are on the line here. Oh, Cole, he would do that to a man. Like, come on. He would do that to a man. Like, every fight, did you not hear all the trainers I mentioned before this? They do that to men. I would do that. I don't care how big you are. I mean, if I'm training you and you're not working, I will do that. That has nothing to do with it. Everybody I named does that. You know, these little guys that train, they do that to the biggest men. I've done that to people on jobs. I asked them, like, what are you doing? I don't care who you are. Like, if you're messing up my productivity or whatever we're trying to get done, I'm going to do that. And I see him doing the same thing. He would. If you were if Aspen Lab was a man, he would do the same thing. If they had a good relationship and he wanted his fighter to win, he would do it. It has nothing to do with it being, he's taking it in the way he's approached to approach it. Man or woman, you're going to get it. Tough love, Mark. Yeah, you got to be tough love. Sometimes you got to be cruel to be kind. I mean, he wanted her to win. He didn't want to see his fighter die in there. So he was like, wake your behind up and fight. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. You can't talk to somebody nice when they're getting their behind whooped. You cannot talk to somebody nice when they're about to die in there, or if they could die in there. You got to treat them like they need. Oh no, I was fixing something. Yeah, you got to treat them like they are really at war. Like they really need to perform and get out of this fire. I mean, Teddy Atlas, come on, all these trainers, Teddy Atlas. I gotta play some Teddy Atlas for y'all. Hold on. Oh, Teddy Atlas. I'm here with Timothy Bradley. Hold on. Let's see here. Like I said, I don't care, man. People gonna get mad at me for it. I mean, that's how I see it. And, you know, they think it's hard, but I mean, I heard him talk that way, and when it was working, nobody complained, but now everybody complaining about it. Lolia said Rhonda and her baby is breastfeeding. Off to a great start. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I seen Rhonda got her baby now. Congratulations to Ronda Rousey. Now she's in motherhood. No more fighter. Mark Robinson said, real talk, I have no idea what Lab was doing in round one. It was so off that I'm thinking she might need a sports psychologist. She seemed paralyzed by fear or indecisiveness. Yeah, I think so too, man. Indecisiveness really got to her, man. Like, it was to the point you have to ask, like, what are you doing? Tutu Hayes, especially since she missed weight the last time, that's humiliating and makes the whole team look bad. Right, especially when she got the opportunity She got the opportunity to fight at a comfortable weight. She got a main event. You know, she was modest and said it wasn't really an award because she wants to be at 135. But she got the opportunity to fight at main event, fight at a comfortable weight after missing weight, and that's how she performed. So it makes them look bad. Like, man, he's doing his part. Lolita said, I was at my son's football game and I was watching Lad and I thought to myself, I am missing the game for this. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, like I said, it wasn't a fight I was looking forward to. And yeah, I didn't do a post fight. I talked about it with y'all Saturday, but I didn't really have any desire to break it down. I mean, what you saw is what you got. I think the relationship and this banner going back and forth with him was a little bit more interesting. The fight was, Norma Dumont did a good job. I'm not taking away from her, but yeah. Cole said there's a reason why fighters were so outspoken in this situation. Is this type of guy. It's the way he's talking. None of you seem to understand it. I understand it, man. I mean, if you're talking to the chat, I think they understand it too, but I understand it. I've seen this before. Like, I'm telling you, man, I've seen this years and years and years. Like, she gave him reason to say that. She gave him reason to say that, man. Like, if an actor's standing on set and the director says action and you just stand there, what is everybody going to ask? If you're standing on set, you're an actor, and that director yells action, and you just stand there, or you just start walking around, or you just start reading the script, and you're not performing the script, performing the dialogue, what is that? What is the director going to ask you? Because you're wasting everybody's time. So what is he going to ask you? He's going to ask you, what are you doing? Right? He's going to say, what are you doing? He's going to ask you the same thing. He's going to say, what are you doing? The same way West asked Lad, because she did not do anything for 3 rounds, what are you doing? Just what are you doing? Mark Robinson said Lad might never get a main event again. She completely botched that opportunity. Yeah, man. Like, only thing he shouldn't have said was, you need to knock this broad out. He shouldn't have said was knock this broad out. No, I mean, he's trying to wake her up. So. Gary Balder said he wouldn't be surprised if Dana cut Aspen. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I mean, because if she can't, I think she'll get another chance. I mean, but then again, it's been 2 years since she's fought. She couldn't even make weight. And, I don't know. I don't think she'll get cut, though. I mean, shocked if she does. Nah, I wouldn't be shocked, but yeah. Let's see, over 20 people in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Like always. Mark said that fight gives Dana even more motivation to cut 145. Yeah, that's why I said the other day, man, I was like, dang, man, like 145 is not going to happen now, man, because it's not what we thought it was going to be. He's not going to want to bring in fighters. All right, Colton's jetting out of here. Like I said, everybody have their opinion, you know what I mean? Like I said, I disagree, but that's just me. I mean, you have your reasons. I got mine. But yeah, definitely not personal on my side at all. Yeah. So yeah, man, I just think that's a situation where I think um everybody was just so focused because they were looking at the expression on Lad's face, and Misha Tate put it out there, and the words at the time with the expression on her face just kind of made for a bad combination. But like I said, that's what he need. That's what she needs, Okay, yeah, yeah. There's your verification mark. Grasso and Arujo, January 22nd. There is your verification on that mark. Grasso, Arujo, January 22nd. What y'all's thoughts? Y'all's thoughts. I actually like this fight. That sounds good. That sounds like a good fight. Excuse me. I'll take that fight, definitely. Probably talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, what else? So, all in all, we go back here to the flyweights. This is a triple threat, just so y'all know. It's in full effect now because Manon passed her test. Taylor's in the top 10, and Miranda technically is 3-0. We're not gonna let them take away that victory from her, man. On paper we know what it looks like, but when we talking about skills, come on, we know Macy Barber did not win that fight, and Miranda has more of a skill set than Macy does. So I think questions have been answered with all three of these fighters now, and they're ready. Well, we know that Taylor's ready for top 10. She's already there, but I think Miranda and Manon are ready to make their statement in the top 15, going through these 11 through 15s, then jumping up into the 10. Now, when we get up into that upper echelon of the top 10, that's where it's going to get more competitive, a lot more competitive. But as of right now, I think they have the skills to weed out some old fighters, man, for sure. But this is what it looks like to me right now, the diagram. Like when you get to the top, hold on here. When you get to the top of the flyweight division, it's like a throne you have to get through. Hold on here. Let me see. 1 second. Looks like this. It basically looks like this. I mean, this is what you got to do. You got to get through. You either got to get through this fighter. Okay. This fighter here. The number 2. You got to take her on. If you could beat that style, that should get you a title shot. Or you got to fight this one, the number 1. Right? And this is what it looks like. Okay. So, here's 2. And if you can beat one, or if you beat both of them, you get to the boss, which is this lady that is starring in a movie with Halle Berry, out on Netflix next month. Valentina Shevchenko. So this is what it looks like right now, as far as your upper echelon of flyweights. You got to get past one or two. You got to get past one or two of them, and you do that, you get to the boss. Yeah, Marcus, I can see that. Like, off of that performance, uh-oh. Rank is gonna be out tomorrow, right? Rank is gonna be out tomorrow. Yeah, Miranda hanging off a cliff in those rankings, and yeah, sadly I can see Manon dropping Miranda out of the rankings. Dang, man. All right, Colin said, done with this channel now. You got a bunch of clowns here. Okay, well, it's my channel. You know, I do the talking. So I mean, if you're done with that, I mean, hey, I can't stop you. I'm not gonna beg anybody. So if you're done, goodbye. That's all I can say. I mean, if you're not taking in what I'm saying, if you're focused on the chat, and then you can go. I mean, if what the chat says hurts that much, and if you're not listening to what I say and not understanding other people are going to have their opinion, then yeah, you got to go. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be the one to beg anybody. That ain't my style. So if what other people are saying, I'm going to say this again, look, if what other people are saying are affecting your presence here instead of listening to what I got to say, then you got to go. There you go. And you gone. What did Muhammad Ali say? And you out, sucker. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you let a chat get to you and you can't understand or, you know, comprehend with what I'm saying, and just understand that, look, people are going to say what they say. Hey, you got to go. I am not one to beg anybody. And that goes for everybody. I've already addressed things like that before. People get sensitive about things. I'm going to keep it moving. The roller get rolled over. That's what it is, man. That's what I said. I don't play. Like, you ain't never going to hear me go left field and just address any drama with people like that, because when I say, look, I'm a real man, like, that's me. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna show you instead of talking. So if you gotta go, hey, ain't nobody stopping you. If you gotta go, just go. That's it. Like, don't even address it, because if you're done with the channel because of somebody else, hey, fine. It ain't nothing. I mean, shoot, this is my channel, and I'm not gonna stop people from having their opinions, especially if they ain't cussing. If nobody is cussing in here and you ain't saying racist stuff or any trolling stuff, you fine. But I feel like, you know, I'm out here talking, and if you ain't paying attention to that and you want to leave because of the comments instead of what I drop, then yeah, you got to go. You more worried about what people are saying in the chat than what I'm saying, you got to go. But anyways, like I said, this is what you yeah, Marcus. I knew Marcus was on that. Like I said, be on it, Marcus. You know, be on it. Anybody pulling that stuff, yeah. I'm gonna leave it in your hands. Mark said, I'm waiting for the Andrade versus Maya fight to happen. Maybe you should have Maya to those. I would put Maya, but I think, you know, since she lost to Caitlyn Chikag and she's kind of at point, I would put her under them. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put a whole diagram of this, how it's gonna have to go together. Like, I just be thinking about this stuff sometimes. So yeah, I would put her here, right? Yeah, like, if you beat Jennifer Maya, then you have to fight one of these two, okay? If you beat one of these two, well, no, excuse me. If you beat Jennifer Maya, you get one of these two, right? So you beat her. So she's at point. She's at point at the gate, and these two are Valentina's big dogs. You know, these are her guards right here. You know, so yeah, I'll put her here, Mark. Dang, man. JoJo, she lost to all three of these girls, man. Wow. That just crossed my mind too. Mark said, I think the only reason Andrade, Maya, and Chikagan should fight each other now is if they are trying to eliminate each other for the next title. Other than that, they just need to gatekeep. Pretty much. And I think they just need to gatekeep because I don't think Andrade is fit for a rematch. Caitlyn doesn't really want one, I don't think. I think if the money was right, she would probably take it. But other than that, Maya wants the rematch, though. So Maya, in my opinion, should turn her back and fight one of these two. But yeah, this is how I can see it set up. Yeah, like when the triple threat comes through, they're going to have to face these three here, that are established and, tough and awkward and chaotic and strong and technical. Man, it's going to be a crazy thing, man. If these three can match up with these three, wow. Thing is, Andrade is a beast in her own right, man. Like, man, when you get past Maya and Chikagan, that's one thing, man. But if you try to get past Andrade, oh, man, like, and you know what I'm saying, that on these level of flyweights, everybody else, you have to really have something to beat Andrade. Calvillo had trouble with her. Calvillo had trouble with her, and it was like it wasn't what she thought it was gonna be. So let me pull. I don't think that. Yeah, they don't update the rankings till tomorrow. But yeah, man, I like that Grasso versus Araujo. Araujo already lost to Caitlyn Chikagan, so she kind of has to reset. She has to reset where she stands. Let's see. Lauren Murphy is number 3, but Lauren's the one that I can see being easier to beat than these three, in my opinion. Though she did go on a long win streak. Can't deny that. I just kind of feel like with her out of the picture right now, these are the ones at the gate. Yeah, I think, one of them should get a title shot, no doubt. Like, if Maya, Andrade, or Chikagan goes on like a 3 or 4 fight winning streak, then yeah, of course they should be be considered for a title shot again. Yeah, I think so. Robot Chicken said, I appreciate you for always giving us content. Salute. I appreciate that. Yeah. Like I said, man, I didn't know that it was enough to make you leave the chat. Like, I've seen worse in chats. You know what I mean? Like, I hear people, cussing in chats and just being all around ignorant in chats and being childish in chats. I didn't really see anybody being childish in the chat where you gotta leave a whole channel. I mean, like, if you just want to hear what I have to say, close the chat out. But if it isn't something you want to hear, if it bugs you that much, then yeah, you probably don't need to be here. Like, if you don't care what I got to say, so yeah, you probably have to go then. Brian Williams said Maya's still hungry. Yeah, she still wants something. That's why I say if Maya takes on Andrade and she beats Andrade, give her a shot. Mark said Manon versus loser of Grasso versus Araujo or Eubank. Yeah, Eubank, that's a good fight. Eubank versus Manon. Yeah, Lolita said she didn't want to. Lolita said she wasted her time watching that Norman Dumont fight. Yeah, you should have been watching the football game. Yeah, you should have been paying. Yeah, I probably would have too. I ain't a big football fan, but the fight was okay. The fight was good for what it was, but yeah. let me see. Yeah, the rankings. Yeah, that's pretty much who you, to me, if you beat Maya and then you beat one of the gatekeepers that are behind her, you get a title shot. I don't know if I was to match up these fighters. Let me see. I think that's pretty much lined up. Man, like Manon versus Caitlyn would be a crazy fight. I know Manon has a reach, and Manon would be able to close distance. I think Manon's ground game would be effective on Caitlyn Chikagian. But if we don't want like similar style clashes, I think Manon versus Andrade would be good. And Manon versus Andrade is good. Taylor Santos versus Caitlyn Chikagian would be good because I like style contrast. And Miranda versus Jennifer Maia. Yeah, because like Jennifer Maia is kind of more of a polished version of Miranda. And like I think Miranda is kind of going into that lane where she's well-rounded and strong. Like I think that's the type of approach Miranda needs to take. Like work on her boxing, polish it up, and surprise her opponents with that, because she has good jiu-jitsu already. I think that's the type of well-roundedness she has more so. Like they don't have similar styles, but I think they both have like a well-roundedness about them. That's just me. Sometimes Stammer says sometimes bees like that. Attic has a great channel, but his chat can get littered with some pretty silly opinions on occasion. Super chill over here. There's no way to be pissed off. Yeah, I'm not here to get pissed off. Like I'm really not here to get pissed off about anything. I mean, I'll tell you how I feel, of course, but I mean, like, if you don't like that, I mean, you can take a walk, but I'm not going to argue with people about it. Like, I'm not, come on, I'm a man. I'm not emotional. I don't like to show emotion. I don't know how. So I ain't yelling, and I ain't got time for that. I think I'm too old for that. I mean, you ain't too old to fight. I mean, I like fighting, but I don't like cattiness. You know what I'm saying? I don't like cattiness. I'm not a woman. I'm not a catty person. I can't. That's when people like say stuff in the chat. It's like I either I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. I'm not gonna argue with you over your opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. I'm just here to enlighten, inform, and entertain. I mean, is that okay? I want to enlighten, inform, and entertain. And I hope it does that. Marcus said Manon could get Chikagian, and if she does, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, the come on. I see, even with that, like I'm trying to see the good in that fight, Lolita. Like I'm trying to see the good in it. Like Norma did what she was supposed to do. She won. I like the jab. I love the jab in the fight. So I got to give her some credit. Mark said your pictures make me envision Chikagian, Andrade, Maya versus Maverick, Manon, and Santos in a street fight, like the triple threat, but I'm going with the gatekeepers. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's still a long way off, man. Like, it's maybe a year off. And who do you think does the best? Like, who do you think does the best out of Miranda, Taylor, and Manon? Like, who's the biggest threat to y'all? Like, I'm not gonna say. I want to give you my opinion. I want to know yours. Robot said, I think it's pissed off Rose fan trolling. Well, I every now and then get a Rose fan. I had one Rose fan say they were disgusted in me saying Rose is not a complete fighter, and they unsubscribed to my channel. I was like, wow, I was starting to call a person a name, but I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, I said Valentina is a complete fighter and Rose is not, and they said, I'm disgusted in your comment that you made, or I'm surprised, I'm shocked in you, and I'm unsubbing. I was like, wow, goodness, man, a load of nuts. Really? I can't have my opinion. I can't tell you the truth. Valentina's not more well-rounded. Come on, man. Yeah, man, I was like, you gonna unsub to me because I said Rose is not complete, but Valentina is more of a complete fighter? Bag of nuts. Yeah, Ben, somebody has to rise. Valentina, it's always good to have somebody on the back burner to take over, man. But yeah, I'll take. I think it was Mark said I'll take Eubank versus Manon for now. If I do a who's next video, I will include her now. Yeah. Cause I keep forgetting Sarge because she's not ranked. She's the wild card, man. She got to be in there. Marcus said, what's your thoughts on Manon not using her left? Injury, mind games. I think when I look back at it, I think it could have been an injury, man. Because Mayra Bueno Silva is there to be hit with the right or the left, and the way she ignored the left kind of threw me off. I was like, her left hand is money. She tried to use the right hook a lot in this fight. You noticed it. But she was using the right hook a lot, and I was like, where's that straight left hand at? Where's that straight left hand? Like, maybe something happened in training. Maybe a little overtraining, maybe a little sprain. But it wasn't as money like it usually is. Like, I really thought her ground game was more effective in this fight. The way she picked Mayra Bueno Silva up and slammed on her back. I was like, yeah, okay. TJ said he's going to subscribe. I tuned into one of your fight campaign videos. There was no video of the fight. Yeah, TJ, that's like Karen stuff, man. I be like, they pulling a Karen on me. They telling I can't have my opinion. And disrespecting. I'm disrespecting by not giving their fighter Rose credit. I give her as much credit as I can. I might be sleeping on a little Mark. Like, I mention her, but I forget her a lot. Like, I gotta put her up there. I kind of am sleeping. Like, I keep forgetting her, and then I get mad at myself when I forget Sarge. I mean, like, I want her back in the top 10 ASAP too, man. Yeah, Robot Chicken. I'm gonna watch Contender Series tomorrow. I'm not sure who I got in that fight, but yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Yeah, TJ, I think maybe she sprained something or broke something. Ben said, why do you seldom talk about female bantamweight? Man. Well, I've said it in some past videos if you haven't heard, though. I will if they give me something to talk about. Let me put it that way. They're a little dry right now. Like, no disrespect. I'll cover their fights. But the division needs some wake up, man. I'm not lying. Like, you won't hear me talk about 135 as much. I used to have my eyes on it for the longest. But I'm gonna be real, man. The the bantamweight division is dry. Like, listen to some of my videos. I'm telling y'all, look, they need to sign Tanisha Tennant, Chelsea Chandler, add some new fighters there to mix. That's why. That's why, Ben. Like, I've said this in past videos, man. It was just like, it's going dry from what I used to know 7-8 years ago, you know? Of course, I really wasn't doing videos then, like 2014 on WMMA, but I was about that division. You know, I was all about that division back then because that's what it was. But the conversations kind of die when you don't have new blood in there, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like watching GDR. I got my eyes on Julia Avila. I like Carol Rosa. So don't get me wrong. I'm watching, but I just can't really discuss too much. Unless you want to hear something about it, you know, I'll talk about it. Okay. Is there anybody you want to talk about in there? I mean, I like Julia Avila. I like Carol Rosa. I like Macy Chiasson. Of course, I like Irene Aldana. But, you know, everybody else has been kind of injured and, you know, some fighters aging. And there's not much going on there, man. I like Juliana Pena, okay? Yeah, you know, I like Juliana Pena. Okay? You know, it's just that there's not much going on over there, man. Like, but Nunes pretty much cleaned it out for what it was. Yeah, Ben, they have to bring in more new talented girls. That's what it is. They got to bring in some more new talent. You know, Tanisha won the belt over here in Invicta. You know, get her in there. Yeah, I think 135 might be harsh on Holly. You know, Holly's like 38, 39. And she might not do it anymore. She's probably looking for a quick way to get back to a title. Featherweight might be it. But you never know. You can't really count Holly out because Holly, she likes to fight. Regardless, win or lose, she'll fight. And Robot Chicken called my girl Chiasson a punk. Oh, wow, come on. Because she didn't take the fight. I mean, if she would have taken it and destroyed Ladd, like everybody would have taken it. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have minded her taking the fight. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, you know, get her out of there because that's a number 3 spot. I mean, I can look at it that way. Like Macy Chiasson, if she taken the fight, that would have been in the number 3 spot. Like, if she missed weight, she have to give her some of her purse, and if she whoops her, she gets that number 3 spot or somewhere close to that. So, you know, there's always that part. But I don't know. That's on to her. Yeah, Bantamweight hasn't signed really anybody. You know, Carol Rosa, Avila in the past 2 years. Alpar was signed on as a 135 and she's gone. Yeah, Ben, Valentina was right about 125. Like, in the interview, I saw that interview not too long ago. Valentina made a good point. You know, 125 is good for a lot of these women that are small bantamweights. You know, everybody can move down. It's also good for, you know, the women that are too big for 115. It's a good point for them, you know. But it's definitely a good weight for her because she's dominating. You know, it's definitely a good weight for Valentina. She gonna say that because she killing them. But as far as, like, you know, Calvillo, Grasso, Suarez, even Andrade, you know, they all decided to move up because it was better on their body. You know. Robot Chicken said DDR, home, Aldana would beat Tate. Oh, yeah. I think Home would win in a rematch. I think GDR would beat Tate. Yeah. I think Aldana. I think Aldana could, but I think if I had to say like the toughest one would be Aldana. I think GDR would get it done, man. GDR would dust her. Lolita said, "Let Amanda smash Misha again." Oh man, no, no heart. I mean, that's fine. I mean, hey, you want it, you want it, you can get it. 145, 135, she'll give it to her. And like always, still got like 20 people, so you just hit the like button if you just come in. Josiane, Nunes, Edwards, Stoyarenko, Edgar, Young, signed 2021. Sad that I can't remember. Yeah, like Josiane Nunes to me should be 125. Yeah, Jocelyn Edwards. I forgot. Jocelyn Edwards is supposed to be fighting Jessica Rose Clark in a couple weeks, right? Or next week. And yeah, Stoyarenko was killing herself to make 135. So Stephanie Edgar, I think she's okay. I think she still got some work to do, but there's potential in her. I think her and Jocelyn Edwards, I'd say, have the most potential out of them names. Yeah, Ben, nobody's touching Amanda right now. Nobody's going to touch her. Yeah, I talked about, I did a show about 105. I think it was like last year. I might have to do another one. Like, I don't know if you want to dig back that far. I did like a live stream about building an atom weight division, and I picked up like 16, 7, maybe 15, 16 atom weights, and then it can be done. Oh yeah, TJ's on that Thailand time. All right, go get your food. Get your breakfast in. Okay, so yeah, overall, I think bantamweight is a division that just needs a little bit more. I won't say a little bit. It needs a couple of pints of blood in there. 135. I still love it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the division, what it brought to the world of WMMA. But I think we just need some more pints of blood in there to get it going. These veins are running dry, man. They need to be circulating, and we need somebody in there to wake it up. And I think Carol Rosa and Julie Abia, they have that, but I think you need about 4 or 5 more. I think you need like the number you got at flyweight. Flyweight's got a good number of girls that could, either switch things around or just be there when the champ retires and like the older fighters retire. Oh man, Mark said enjoy the eels and the bugs. Ooh. I'll pass on all of that. Thai food sounds good. I might get some drunken noodles tonight. Thai food. Need to get some Filipino food. That's where it's real. Filipino food is the deal. That's the truth. Filipino food, you get some lumpia, adobo, some canton. That's the real food right there. I'm not saying Thai food is not real. I'm just saying that you want something good. Yes. Brian said ain't nobody beating Holly except Nunes and GDR. Pretty much. And what do we got coming up this week? I mean, we getting back on here to talk tomorrow, but let's let's just take a. When's the ONE FC card? I got to do a stream talking about that because I know y'all asked me to do that. So, and then we got the PFL card. So I got to talk about that 1 week. You know, Clarissa. So tomorrow, Contender Series fight. Valeska, Machado, Piera Rodriguez. Young undefeated strawweight. Gonna have another strawweight edition here. They didn't even sign Silva from last week. So I don't know, man. Like, it's not a loss though. I mean, she can get to work in and get better. Let me see. LFA this weekend. Pauline Messias, Marnik Man. I gotta watch that fight. Yeah, there's a 1, 2, 3. LFA got a few fights I need to watch. WMMA fights. This is what I do when I ain't got no downtime on the weekend. I be watching these LFA fights. Let me see. When is this ONE FC card? Oh, where is it? Bellator 269. Got a flyweight fight in Bellator this Saturday. Got two flyweight fights. Man, got a lot of WMMA. You know, a lot of fights that I think a lot of people aren't really on to. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, so we got Bellator, LFA, and UFC. So I gotta go back and watch some of these fights like I've been doing in the past. I just been kind of busy. Friday's LFA. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Coming events. Okay, so October 29th, Friday, we got Stan Fairtex in Meta Barber. Meta Barber was stepping in for Ham, right? Then we got Ritu Fogat versus Harada. Yeah. I like that. I like it. I like that a lot. So, yeah, Mark, I'm going to be talking about that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And then I'm going to just kind of go in through the schedule, man. Like, yeah, I kind of got to go with Fogat. I think Fogat has the style for Harada. You know, Harada is going to be trying to bang a little bit. Yeah, Fogat. I'm going to go with Fogat right now. Now I'm going to go with Fairtex. I think Fairtex, her skill set is higher than Meta Barber. I think Fairtex might win that by finish. Just an early look. We'll talk tomorrow, though. We'll say that for tomorrow. Robot Chicken said people think I'm Filipino. I'm fading Marcos. He looks worse in every fight. Lolius, I like Filipino food more than Thai. Ponset especially. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Filipino food is, I'm telling you, yes. Yeah. Ponset. All of that. Canton. Got me hungry now. Got me freaking hungry. Oh boy, Jessica I reveals she's been hospitalized, likely out of upcoming Andrea Lee fight. Now, if Manon wasn't maybe facing a little bit of injury, maybe if she wasn't looking like she was limping out of there, I would say put Manon in there with Andrea Lee, but no. Sarge. All right, Mark, I'm remember Sarge. I'm gonna remember her now. So I'm gonna remember Mark. Okay, Sarge versus Andrea Lee. Make it happen. Make it happen. Put Sarge in there now. If Jessica I is out, put Sarge in there with Andrea Lee. Yes. I'm not gonna forget her. I want Sarge versus Andrea Lee. I'm gonna put that on my IG right now, man. I'm gonna jump over here and put it on IG. Jessica, I will likely have to wait another later date. This past Thursday, I was dealing with an allergic reaction to fish eggs that I didn't notice on my sushi roll until it was too late. Extremely allergic to eggs. Thursday night is when the fever started. So I followed protocol for when I am exposed to a food allergy. Thursday was rough, but woke up on Friday feeling okay with brain fog, which is usually a symptom after an allergic reaction or exposure to foods I'm allergic to. Friday was a normal day when I was ready for the weekend event, but it felt like adrenaline was keeping me on my feet. However, Friday night, the fever returned. At this point, I have a negative test, C test, so I brushed it off. I was like, F fish eggs. So yeah, well, hopefully Jessica's okay. You know what I mean? Like, allergic reactions are bad, you know. So I'm not a big fan, but I don't want to see anything happen to her like that. But put Sarge in there with Lee. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, Lee versus Eubank. Robot chicks at Eagle wings are better. Dang. Eagle wings, I'm sure they're bigger, but are they better? All right, so what else? Yeah, so that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. I'm gonna go through this underground schedule tomorrow. LFA. Go ahead and give my picks on 1FC. And Bellator's got a couple fights, so I'll pull that up. Fill y'all in on that WMMA stuff. Mark said, does Maverick have a fight book? No, she doesn't. I don't know if they'll fight, though, because Lee and Maverick are training partners. So I don't know if that'll happen. I mean, it should, but I don't know. Brian Williams said, watch Casey O'Neill try to get that. When is that Just Guy fight? Hold on, let me see. Oh, November 13th. Well, that's about a month away. She might be out. It's about a month away. She might be okay. Who knows? She might be all right. November 13th. We'll see. But if not, put Sarge on standby. And let Sarge get that. Because like I said, I don't know if Miranda going to take that fight because she trains with Lee. But Miranda versus Casey, that's a good one. I got to go with Miranda in that fight. I think Miranda's a little bit more polished and she's stronger. And her jiu-jitsu is a lot cleaner. Brian Williams, he's 40, said, why am I using so many emojis? That's how you get your point across, I guess, right? It comes a point where you get a little, like, you got to show us what you feeling. Yeah, you got to get down with the youth, man. You got to stay up with them, man. Like, I don't find myself using too many. Yeah, so let me see. Last question, yeah. Okay, you see the picture here. So I'm gonna ask y'all one last question. Yeah, probably one last question before I get up out of here. So, answer in the chat. Who would you want to see the triple threat fight out of these three gatekeepers? Answer that question. I'll be right back. That's the question. Match up the three gatekeepers with the triple threat on how you would like to see that go. Like, how would you like that matched up? And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. So yeah, Mark. Mark said he'd like to see Manon and Chikagan fight. That would be a good stand-up battle. Yeah, that would be a good, interesting stand-up fight. Two long flyweights. One who throws volume, one who throws good, stiff, hard power shots. Both very long, so yeah, that would make a good fight. Santos and Andrade, two physically strong grapplers. That would be a very big strength-based fight. I think when it comes down to reach and striking edge, I would give that to Taylor Santos. When it comes down to striking. Now, when it comes down to strength and clinch control, that would be Taylor Santos' time to shine. You know what I mean? Like, use her frame the way Valentina did. Take advantage that you're the taller, longer fighter. Get in a position and get to an angle where Andrade doesn't have any leverage to use her strength. And that would be interesting. Like, that would be a good fight. I think clinch control would be critical for Taylor, like getting that tight clinch and landing good knees to the body. Physical fight, brutal physical fight, man. Let's see. In Maverick and Maya, I like that one because, like I said, both have similar approaches to MMA. They both have a lot to offer when it comes to strength and tools. I think Maya, she's the more well-rounded out of Andrade and Chikagan, which doesn't necessarily make you the best, but, she'll do a little bit of everything. She'll fight in the clinch. She'll go to the ground. She'll box. She'll kickbox. And Miranda does the same. Miranda will use her Muay Thai, her Jiu-Jitsu, her wrestling is good. I just think that Maya, of course, is more levels above because she's experienced. So that is Miranda's point to outshine, and level up eventually when she gets there, high IQ. I'm going to say Miranda has high IQ. So that's that. I agree with that. I would go with that too. I think Mark pretty much hit it on the head. That's what I would go for, like style-wise. And I think everybody's agreed with that. Yeah, Stamina said, what Mark said. Then Mark, number 1 or number 2, Mark R, said that's a good pairing. Robot Chicken says, I agree. Marcus says, same here. So Mark is undefeated. He pretty much hit it out the park with that one. Brian Williams said, no, Mark, that's puts all of them too close to the belt for where they are, except maybe Santos. That's just fantasy matchmaking, though. I'm just saying, like, it's just fantasy matchmaking. If they got to that point, I think that's a good, like, the triple threat is kind of what they are, except, it just needs to be proven a little bit. Like, when I look at their styles, it's similar to what those 3 fighters have now. But it could be better if they just, step out of the box. Manon can be dominant in what she does. Taylor can. Miranda can. I think all 3 of them can. I think it's just going to take going in there and getting them matched up with these old heads and getting them out of there, man. Santos versus Manon. Yeah, that would be good. I mean, Santos versus Manon would be good. I mean, if you're matching them up with the gray on the side, though, like these 3 versus these 3. Jessica Andrade needs to stay at flyweight, in my opinion. I mean, She's not cutting in line to me. Like, I'd rather see Marina Rodriguez get a title shot than Andrade right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Andrade versus Namajunas 3. That's a good fight. I like Joanna versus Andrade 2. I like Wei Li versus Andrade 2. But I need to see some new fights. You know what I mean? Those are great fights, great rematches, but I've seen them. I've seen them too many times. I'd rather see Rodriguez get a title shot before Andrade. Rodriguez has done more. I'd rather see Carla get a title shot. It's been 7 years. So I want to see Esparza and Rodriguez get it. Andrade, you busy playing at 125. Keep playing at 125. Don't try to jump the line at 115. Mark said, I think Manon would have problems with Chikagan. I think Chikagan is a better point fighter, which is how that fight probably goes down. Yes, yeah, that's true. She's a good point fighter. I never want to take away from that. It would be on Manon to close that distance and take it to the ground like Valentina did. Because I think Manon has a very, very good clinch game and ground game, man. Like, if you think it's going to be a striking match, I think Manon would take it to the ground. But don't let Manon catch you with a kick to the body. Chikagan got stopped, remember? Chikagan got stopped with a body shot. So imagine her getting sliced in the stomach with a Manon karate kick. I think Manon's ground game and her kicks would, I think they would be more than, let me just say they'll be overwhelming on Chikagan, I think, to a certain degree. V. Kendra said, I would love to see Rose versus Andrade 3, but the resume and the way each person wins. Yeah, I would love to see the fight. Don't get me wrong, but I can wait. I want to see Esparza Rodriguez get that. BJ, he said Grasso versus Rujo rumored. We were just talking about that, BJ. You're a little late. It's been finalized apparently. Marcus just posted a link. It said January 22nd. Yeah, I think Manon beats Chikagan, but you never know, man. I said that with Arujo, but she's not Arujo. Manon would get it done. I mean, I always try to keep an open mind, but that's just me. But I think Manon, she's got the pressure and the striking to get it done. Manon's got the power and the ability to adjust to her point fighting style. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah. Manon might have issues with strong wrestlers. Chikagan has way less power than Silva. She has way less power, but she has volume and cardio, and that's what gives people problems. If Manon keeps it straight and doesn't throw too many hooks, she could definitely win, though. Andrade has endless cardio, too. If you mixed it up and you put Manon in there with Andrade, I would favor Manon. If you put Taylor in there with Caitlin Chikagan, that would be crazy. If Taylor closed the distance, I would go with Caitlin. But, Caitlin could work on the outside on Taylor. I'm just being real. That would be interesting. Miranda versus Andrade would be crazy, too. That would be like a tough fight on the inside. I don't know, man. BJ said Chikagan is hard to beat. That would be a good fight. Yeah, I like the style matchup. It would be very, very good. Yeah, but I think Grasso or Rujo, yeah, what'd it say? It's finalized, yeah. Yeah, man. What else? We were talking about I don't know. I didn't see her get hurt with a body shot. I see her, blocking a lot of kicks. I see her take some shots, but I never saw her like hurt. I saw her take some shots and keep it moving, but I never saw her hurt with anything, man. I never saw her hurt with no body shots. And I can't favor Andrade just off of what she did to Kagan, because you can't really get in there if the jab is in your face or the kicks are in your face. You know what I mean? It kind of depends on the fight. Like, Chikagan doesn't have the solid core like Manon does. I think Manon, her core is solid. And if you hit anybody in the stomach in the right place, you might get a reaction, but I don't think she was hurt. And if you did, like, hurt her, she would react like Chikagan. That's what I consider hurt. Like, if a person got to run and they're on the back foot. I don't know if y'all saw that fight where Marina Rodriguez hurt Cynthia Calvillo to the body and she went running across the ring. So that's hurt to me. I mean, if you get a reaction out of somebody and they recover, that's not really hurt. I never seen her hurt in the fight, honestly. Like, I seen her get some reactions and just keep it moving. And, anybody's going to react to a shot. I never saw her hurt in this fight with Mayra Bueno Silva. Took some hard calf kicks. If that anything, that was like the weakest point. But she kept it going. She never like had to over respect Silva. She just continued with her game plan. Mark said, I would be very disappointed if none of the triple threat make it past the mid-tier of the division. I would be too. I'd be disappointed too. I think the triple threat, they can make it. Taylor's got JoJo right now, so we'll see. This is the next level. This is the next level. We need to see them in there with, JoJo, Lee, Calvillo. Yeah, for sure. Stamina said, no come up for DLR off of Fiorot, please and thanks. BJ said Montana versus Manon. Oh, man, we know how that would go. I mean, Manon's going to put it on her, man. Like, Manon's going to hit that target all day. We know what the target is. I think Manon's going to, Manon would put Montana. Manon would she put some welts on her. Let me just put it that way. I'm not going to take away from Montana's heart and her size. She might last 3 rounds with Manon, but Manon's going to put some welts on Montana. I think, Manon Fiorot, V. Kendrick said Manon lost against a wrestler. I mean, she really didn't lose that fight if you go back and watch it. Manon has advanced more than Leah McCourt, in my opinion. I've seen all her fights. I've seen them. And you're basing that off a fight that was like years ago. And you saw what she did to Silva on the ground. Manon Fiorot's ground game was actually more impressive in this fight to me. The way she picked up Bueno Silva, the big flyweight, and put her on her back. I'm surprised BJ got Manon in his triple threat, man. You might want to take her out because you talk about her like she ain't got no skills, man. You talk about her like she ain't got no defense. You might want to check your triple threat because I believe in my triple threat. I believe in Manon's skills. Like, Manon will wash Montana. And she won't smother her either, man. Like, Manon's punch placement or strike placement is better than Montana's. Montana might have the edge on the ground, but when it comes down to the better striker, better footwork, and the killer instinct, the dominant, the cold-hearted fighter, we're talking about Manon. Like, Manon showed me she didn't have any quit in her, She didn't come to get a draw against Mayra Bueno Silva. She came to dominate. You know, she's not here to fight on the same level. She levels up. She didn't say I'm coming for a draw. She said, no, I'm gonna beat you, even if my leg is hurt, even if my hand is broken. I'm gonna whoop you. Okay? I didn't come for a draw. I'm not gonna fight Mayra Bueno Silva to a draw. I'm not gonna stand in front of you and take a punch all night. I am gonna outwork you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm not gonna use my nose as a shield. I'm gonna duck shots, and I'm gonna slip and move. I'm gonna keep touching you. I'm gonna keep hitting you till I win. So that's what Manon's performance looked like versus Montana. Everything I said Manon does, she's done. And, you know, and I see it in her. Like, she's not playing games. She's not playing. Like, Montana is tough, but she's not cold-hearted tough like Manon is. Manon is dangerous. Taylor's dangerous. Montana is 3-round fighter. She's a dog, but will she level up? See the difference between Manon? Manon took a couple calf kicks and got hurt, right? What did she do? Did she react? And did she say, I'm going to just sit back and respect Mayra Bueno Silva all night? No. She said, I'm going to throw these combinations. I'm going to keep kicking you in your chest. I'm going to knock you down. I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to take you down to the ground. I'm going to whoop you for 3 rounds. If you don't get knocked out, oh well, I got the victory. 30-26, 30-27. You don't get no rounds against me. Okay? No, BJ, let's not jump to Miranda. We talking about Manon. We talking about Manon right now. We talking about Manon leveling up. No. We were talking about Manon. I think, BJ, you said that Manon almost got submitted. I did not see that either. Like, where did she almost get submitted? Manon did not get Tell me. Manon got the takedown. Where did she almost get submitted in that fight? Montana's younger, more time to improve. That's a bad argument, V. Kendra. You know that's a bad argument. Now, you know Manon is already mature. She's goal-oriented. She's 31. She's strong. She's ready to go. Marcus said the question is, how's Montana's defense going to hold up against Manon's striking? What defense? Right? What defense? What defense? Like, I mean, Manon's just showing that dominance factor. You know what I mean? Like, she's not going to take no for an answer. She's going to win. She's going to win every round possible. She's not letting it slip. She's going to listen to her corner and do what she got to do. Montana has leveled up. Her striking has come more mild since she first came to the UFC. Go back and look at her fights in the LFA. It was garbage. It's better than it was in LFA, but Manon's striking was better back then. Manon's striking is still Manon. I just read what Mark was saying. Manon's striking was already on a high level back then. So Manon's striking. Let me put it this way. This is the perfect example. Okay, Manon versus Montana in a striking battle is going to be like Rodriguez versus Dern. Okay? That's what it's going to be like. Okay? That's what it's going to be like. Manon and Montana Montana trying to strike or box with Manon is gonna look like Dern versus Rodriguez. Yeah, I said it. That's what it's gonna look like. If you want a picture of what that'll look like if they try to stand, Manon is gonna look like Marina Rodriguez, and she gonna look like Dern. Yeah, Montana's got good. Yeah, Montana's got good ground game all day. She got good ground game. Yes, she does. But has she grappled with somebody as strong as Manon, though? Somebody as strong as Fiorot? You know, Manon Fiorot is strong. Like, you see her initiating these clinches. Now, I wouldn't advise her to try to go to the ground. I want her to use her strengths that are better. But when it comes down to it, Montana's good on the ground, very dangerous on the ground. So I wouldn't suggest she goes there. But I think when it comes to like clinch control, I think that Manon is a dog. Definitely, she's a dog. We ain't talking about takedowns. I'm talking about striking. You said striking. You said her striking has gotten better. So let's talk striking. If she was to strike with it, it would look like Dern versus Rodriguez. That's how it would look to me. Because she got Montana all day over Maverick. Okay. They train together, so you never see that fight, but I would have to go with Maverick. Dang, BJ says send the league. I'm about to get off here in a minute, man. I got some food up here. We're going to have to talk tomorrow for sure, though, man. I'll let you get your points together so we can. I'm going to be on tomorrow. We already running over 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'm about to jump off of here in a minute. Save it for tomorrow. For sure. Be curious. I think Montana can strike to close distance enough. What does that mean? You think she can strike to close distance? I don't know. Who's the better mixed martial artist? I'm going to go with Manon. Manon Fiorot's a better mixed martial artist. Because she's never, first of all, she's never struggled even outside of the organizations, I think that she's always shown a good level of growth and improvement. And every time she stepped up, she's won rounds. Every time she faced adversity, she's never crumbled. I'd say Manon is the better all-around mixed martial artist. She's got the karate, she's got the boxing, she's got the enough wrestling. She may not be better at wrestling than Montana, but when it comes down to all-around skills, she makes the better MMA fighter. Now, Montana might be a better wrestler, or she might be better with her jiu-jitsu, but when you got enough of everything, I think Manon has a better grasp of everything. I think Miranda does, too. That's why Miranda beats Montana v. Kendra. Montana wins that fight. Miranda wins that fight. But yeah, Manon, to me, is the better mixed martial artist. Yes. It shows in her record. It shows in how she performs. Montana's a better wrestler. V. Kendra said, could you explain how Maverick versus Andrade is even a question? Because they're in the same division. and eventually that fight could happen? Not very hard to answer. That fight can happen. And once a fighter climbs the rankings, they're going to have to fight her to get to the champion. So Maverick versus Andrade is a question. Makes sense, right? Don't overthink it. Brian Williams said, from what I've seen, Manon won't let Montana get close enough to secure a takedown. Okay, so BJ said, why does Manon's striking outweigh Montana's grappling? Same way Joanna's striking outweighed Andrade's grappling. That's the best way I can put it. Manon's striking outweighs Montana's grappling the same way Joanna's striking outweighed Jessica Andrade's grappling. If you can't get in, it's not effective. If you cannot get in, it's not effective. All right, Mark, I'll see you later. She's more effective with her execution, with her striking, than the Montana is with her takedowns. That's my point, is the fact that her striking is going to outweigh that grappling, because she probably can't get on the inside if she can't get past the jab and she can't get past the kicks. So, better mixed martial artist to me out of Manon and Montana is Manon Fiorot. Montana been there and done that. She's felt what it's like to fight a good striker. Manon hasn't felt that real wrestling pressure, that UFC caliber wrestling pressure. I think she's faced the adversity, though. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. And again, it just comes down to being able to execute that. Like, if you have the strength to stay away from it, hey. To me, Manon looked good on the ground, when she did get those takedowns. Like, it surprised Mayra Bueno Silva. Mayra Bueno Silva's good on the ground, but it surprised her when she got taken down. Yeah, BJ, I had thought you said on your video that like 20 seconds more and Manon would have got submitted by Mayra Bueno Silva. I was just listening to your post-fight. That's why I thought you said she was about to get submitted. So I was like, what? That's why I brought that up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you meant Manon was submitting her, but I thought you had said Mayra was going to submit. Mayra was about to submit Manon if there was like 20 more seconds, but I thought she had her in a good position. Like, Manon was controlling it. Yeah, like I said, BJ. Yeah, I'm not questioning her wrestling. I'm questioning her overall well-roundedness. V. Kendra said, I still think Montana beats Maverick. I didn't like the Jillian performance in the fight with Barber. It's not on what you like, because she won both fights, in my opinion. She won the Barber fight. She won the Jillian fight. So, not basing it off what you like, how does Montana beat Maverick, though? That's what I need to know. I mean, like, just because you didn't like her performance against Jillian, which she won, and the performance against Barber, which again she won, how do you think Montana's going to beat Maverick? That's what I need to know. I mean, Maverick's never been dominated in any organization, to me. Like she has a loss, she couple losses, but she was never like outclassed and stopped or really beat down. She lost early in her career and she rebounded. And what did she do with the takedown? Nothing, right? She got the takedown. Then what happened? She still lost the round. She took her down, but she still lost the round. So next, keep going. Barbara got the takedown. Miranda got a takedown as well in that round, and they took the round from her. But she won the first 2 rounds. So what did she do with the takedown? Nothing. I've never seen Miranda dominated. I've never seen Miranda dominated like Montana's been. Like, I seen Montana dominated against Vivian Araujo, Andrea Lee. I seen Rachel Ostovich land good on her until she came from behind and submitted her. Calvillo, was it Calvillo beat her too? I've seen it. Nah, I don't see Montana mauling Miranda Maverick too strong. I think Miranda has better footwork too, and I think she lets her hands go. Montana's too stationary. And then, okay, because I've never seen Maverick really dominate either, then you must not have been watching her fights. I mean, if a person wins all 3 rounds pretty clearly, that's dominant, Yeah, Montana don't move their heads, but Maverick moves her feet. Maverick moves her feet, and she's lighter on her feet, whereas Montana doesn't move her head. Marcus said Montana loses the better competition. Are you sure you're watching Miranda Maverick fight, V. Kendra? I mean, you said she moves slow. I mean, have you not seen her shoot in for takedowns and how fast she can be? I'm just wondering. I mean, I don't know if you're watching the same fighter here. My stamina said DLR without Strike Maverick. I don't know about that, man. I seriously don't know about that. I mean, for Maverick to be outstruck, I think that would have to be like a step up in like level of striking. That would have to be somebody like Grasso doing that work, I don't think Montana's hands are fast enough, man. Like, I wouldn't say she got pieced up. I mean, yeah, she landed a couple good shots, but as soon as Miranda started kicking her in the body, she stopped. Then she started getting hit with elbows and straight left hands. Miranda's footwork was better in that fight, like better than everything Miranda's footwork in the Jojo fight was better than anything Montana ever showed. Like, she started, moving to her left. She started slipping at an angle, and she started kicking the body. She started landing body kicks. She was landing straight right hands. She was landing elbows. She was dipping out at an angle, and she busted that nose open, and that was it. And don't forget, Maverick, she'll target that nose on Montana, so she will put some straight punches down the pipe and she'll move her feet. So you talking about Maverick in her not having good striking. I mean, her footwork is better. Her punch placement is better. I think Montana might have a little bit more pop. Because of her size. I will give her that. But I think when it comes down to combinations and slipping, Miranda does that more. Miranda slips a lot better. High Five said, I wonder why I don't like Maya and Cook in top 3. It should be other faces. Yeah, I understand High Five, but hey, somebody got to get him out of there, man. He said he don't like him in there. Hey, when somebody get in there and take him out, you won't see him anymore. Be curious if anything, Barber has the clearest round 3. Barber was more dominant in the first 2. And I can't say that. I mean, what good is one round if you didn't win the other fights? Like, yeah, you could have one round, but Miranda clearly won rounds 1 and 2. It was just a robbery. If anything, BJ, Jillian was trying to work on the feet in that fight against Maverick. That wasn't a good idea because her strike is not doing that good. No. BJ said, I just feel Maverick would struggle with Montana's boxing. If anything, she might struggle with the strength. I will say that, but she's not going to struggle with the boxing. Montana, I'm still lost on this boxing thing with her. Really, like, I had to go back and look at some fights. She can land, but when I think boxing, I'm thinking of footwork and placement. She has a lot of trouble with people who move their feet, and I don't see Montana moving with Miranda. Like, Miranda slips punches, man. Like, Miranda knows how to dip and dodge. Miranda dips and dodges. She'll shoot the straight left hand down the middle. I don't think she'll struggle with Montana's boxing. If anything, it would be on the ground. If anything, she'll struggle with her ground because you just said her wrestling. Her wrestling is her biggest thing. Her boxing is not that good. Her boxing is not going to hang with Montana. Montana was a Muay Thai fighter. She's a kickboxer. Maverick is not going to be flustered by the boxing of Montana. If anything, it's like you said, the wrestling. It's like you said, the wrestling is going to give Maverick problems. If anything, it's the wrestling because of her strength and because of her ground game. But her boxing is not going to give Miranda problems because she doesn't have the footwork to catch Miranda. If Miranda stands in front of her, yeah, she'll get hit. But other than that, no. Ulysses said Montana has problems with had problems. Oh, she had more problems. She had more than enough problems, Ulysses. I mean, we can't call that problems. She was getting schooled in there. That was a clinic against Viviane Araújo. I mean, the jab was there. It was just beautiful work. Mark Robinson says, should Maverick fight Andrea Lee if Jessica Ai is out? They train together. I don't know if they would. So I would say Sarge. Put Sarge in there with Andrea Lee. Yeah, that would be good. High Five said Maverick needs to sharpen her ground game. Her boxing is good. I actually think the other way around. Like, I think her ground game is really good. Like, she hits a lot of grappling tournaments. Like, she did some grappling tournaments not too far from where I live. So, I think that I think her ground game is pretty solid. Viviana beat Maverick. I don't know about that. I mean, Viviane, you get in 2 good rounds and that's it. She'll be gassing. I mean, I thought she would beat Jessica I, but she didn't. Yeah, high five. Arujo gasses out faster than Maverick. That's why I'm like, if Maverick pushes the pace, with her strength, that might gas Arujo out. Arujo's a good striker, don't get me wrong though. Like, if she chooses to strike for 2 rounds, she could win it. But I think if Maverick takes the approach of being the wrestler here, and she presses the action and she works the body, she could gasp Arujo out. Maverick's a smart fighter. Like I said, Maverick is not going to lead with her face. Maverick is not going to stand in front of Montana. Ernest Richards said Miesha Tate was cloud chasing. Yeah, I agree. BJ said Montana's wrestling is always her strong point, but her power, jab, and punch placement is also part of her game. Only when somebody's standing in front of her. Like, her power and her jab are only effective when a fighter stands in front of her. Like, if you got the footwork, it's not a problem. If you move in a lateral if you have lateral movement, it's not a problem. So it's her strong point in any fight, but when you talk about her jab and her punch placement, I can't give her jab like a Viviane Araújo credit or Andrea Lee credit. It'll look good when somebody stands in front of her. Like, when she hit Viviane Araújo was standing in front of her. She wasn't able to set the punches up, walk her into certain shots. Exactly, Brian. That's what's holding her back, man. Like, Viviane Araújo, if she had a gas tank, oh man, she would definitely be in there. She'd probably be going for the title right now. What Stamina say about? Oh, his girl. Viviane gas tank too low. Sounds like, yeah, it's too low. Oh man. I think when it comes down to it though, Manon, she's got the right amount of gas, right amount of cardio, punch and power, strength. But yeah, if you go back to Manon versus Montana, oh man, you know what's gonna happen, man. Manon's gonna put it on her, man. Manon is going to put it on her. But yeah, BJ, I'll send you a link tomorrow for sure. I mean, keep these points, man, because BJ, you want to talk about Manon being able to beat Montana, being able to beat Manon? I don't know, man. This girl already passed. She's ready to work. What else? Yeah, we definitely got to talk about that because, I mean, Manon already, I know Styles make fights, but Manon said, I'm going to dominate Silva. High Five said, can Manon beat Araújo like she did Silva? I think Araújo is willing to bang. I think she could. I think the striking will be interesting. I think that Manon is a little more technical Viviane Araújo is very awkward though. Viviane Araújo, she's good with the jab. Her uppercut is good, but she kind of loses steam. And I think that's her downfall. Like, Manon never loses steam and she never loses focus. She keeps fighting for 3 rounds. So I think Manon, if she has a good body attack, and if she sticks to her straight punches, and even some good clinch work, she could probably beat Viviane Araújo. Viviane Araújo would have to use combinations and counter the clinch work. But I think that Manon has the tools to beat Araújo, until she gets her gas tank right. If the gas tank was full, it'd be like 50-50 to me, or maybe the edge to Araújo, because she would be better than what we've seen in the past. But I think Manon could take her into deep waters and win that fight. Manon actually likes to go for the ground too. Manon would be getting takedowns. Yeah, so yeah, Manon would definitely do it, man. Yeah, but she dominated. I said she would stop Silva, but she didn't. The point is, she won and she looked good winning. She dominated the fight. She didn't lose. She didn't come out with a draw. She didn't get rocked in the fight. She didn't lose a single round. So, next best thing to a stop is just dominating. Brian said, yeah, Montana's got improved striking, but it comes down to when a fighter is standing in front of you. That's what makes it look good, but it's slow. It's slow. But yeah, she's accurate. Like I said, it comes down to somebody when they're just standing in front of her. Yeah, Montana, like I said, she can hit hard, but you got to be standing in front of her. I don't think Manon's going to be there taking bombs. Ooh, getting chilly out here, man. It's like 40-something degrees out my way. So yeah, we've been on here for a minute just talking, and it's about a 3-hour mark. Like I said, I was off today. I was just chilling, so I had all the time. So yeah, man, we'll get back on here tomorrow. Good conversation. Everybody got their points and looks on fights, and I enjoy it. Everybody has their opinion and outlook on fights and how they go. That's what makes it interesting. So, yeah. We're going to jump back on here tomorrow. I think BJ wants a little bit of a sparring session again. He wanted to get in a little sparring session and talk about Montana versus Manon. What is she going to do to beat somebody like her? I don't know, man. Manon, Montana's in the top 15. And by the time she recovers, be 2022, Manon will need an opponent. Give it to her. But I think that Manon can get a better opponent than that, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, V. Kendra. I mentioned that fight so many times. Yeah, Marina Moreau showed you, like, boxer. Piece her up. Yeah. High five. He mentioned Montana in any of his comments. I think Montana did Montana get knocked out of the rankings again? Hold on, let me check, y'all. I know Casey O'Neill is in there, so that had to push somebody out. Hold on. Yeah, Montana's out. Never mind, Montana's out of the rankings. It goes Miranda, Casey, and Macy. Miranda, Casey, Macy, Andrea. That's the 12 through 15. Yeah, Montana's out again. Casey knocked her out of there. So Miranda's hanging on. Miranda needs an opponent. Maybe it might be Roxy. It might be Roxy. Ulysses said, "Is Agapova a prospect?" Honest question. Ulysses, if I can erase that Shanna Dobson fight, which is hard to do, I can put her back on course. Like, I like what she did against Hannah Cyphers. I like the performance against Mazo. She's a prospect. She's had good fights. I mean, she's a prospect. I mean, she's not like a threat, triple threat Ulysses, but she's a prospect. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to do that because I was a fan of her in Invicta. You know, I like what she did in the Contender Series. She's got the tools. Everybody has a bad time. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has a down time, and I'm not gonna shun her for that Shanna Dobson fight. You know, she was in a bad place, dark place, and she looked like she was back on course. And if she can get another win or two, we'll put her next to these three. So yeah, she's a prospect. She's a prospect. She's definitely a prospect. She's got a lot of energy, and she's got the kill switch. Agapova's got the kill switch. Everybody has a bad night, you know. Yeah, it does make it a little interesting. I mean, her career. I mean, like, she was off one night and she saw it. She learned a lesson. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, she's one or two more wins, and I'll put her back on course for sure. Yeah, if she keeps her momentum going in her ground game, or you said ground game is her biggest problem, she can submit people when she knocks you down. But yeah, her ground game she needs to work on it. You know, Tracy Cortez, she was able to beat her. We'll see though. We'll see. Stamina crazy. Factual jab. Oh man, someone else has a little momentum behind them, and that's Priscilla. But unfortunately, I don't see her beating Jillian Robertson unless she finds a way to stay off the ground. Yeah, I got Jillian in that fight. I mean, that would be a funny Cinderella story, v. Kendra, but I don't think that would happen. I mean, it would be weird. It would be weird if she did that. I mean, yeah, funny thinking, just like if you were off the wall thinking, like if she climbed the ladder and then somehow had the style for Valentine, I'd be like, what the, wow. I mean, I don't see it happening, but I mean, well, High Five said, can Agapova withstand a high level grappler? Durham might submit her easy. Agapova against Jillian Robertson, that would be a good test for her. Jillian would be a good grappler for her. Jillian or Miranda Maverick would be a good test for Agapova. No, I would for Jillian Robertson. Jillian Robertson on the ground would be a good test for Agapova. Hell, even Montana would be, you know. Even Montana. Durham wants to move to 125. Durham better stay right where she is at 115. She has to stay right where she is at 115. Because her road to being a complete fighter is not there yet. Yes, sir. Let's see, triple threat video coming later this week or maybe tomorrow. We're gonna go in Agapova versus O'Neal. Ooh, that's a good one. O'Neal ain't no joke right now, though, man. I gotta give her respect. She wants to get it, man. Brian Williams said Montana could get Manon down if she tries to double leg under those predictable complications. But that's it. Right. Dern doesn't want to move to 125. Yeah, if we base it, yeah, she didn't say that, right? You talking about the Valentina thing, right? Yeah, because she don't need to be there. I mean, did she say that in somewhere other argument? Did she make another argument where she could? Like, did I miss another interview? Because if we're going off the interview I saw with Valentina, no. Yeah, Agapova versus O'Neal would be crazy, man. That's a good fight. That would be good because Agapova and O'Neal both have like these killer personalities. So V. Kendra said Jillian's not that good. She's been out grappled and submitted. It depends on who grapples her, though. I mean, like, Jillian gets out grappled by like the strong grapplers like Taylor and Miranda, but I think Agapova would be I think Jillian could give her trouble on the ground, and that's her test. She's been out strength on the ground. Yeah, she's been out strength, but she's never really been out grappled. Like, Agapova on the ground with Jillian would probably favor Jillian. But I don't know. I need to see it. Yeah, Agapova when it comes down to technical striking, she's much more technical than Casey. And you can only take those hits for so long. So Casey's got to be on her defense. Yeah. Myra Bueno Silva did submit Jillian Robertson. I gotta go back and watch that though. But let me get up out of here. 7 p.m. tomorrow. BJ, if you want a link tomorrow, come on through. Doors open. You don't even need to knock, man. Just walk up in here. Go ahead and tell me what's on your mind. You know. So let's get ready to get up out of here. I'm hungry. It is late. Been on here with 3 hours messing with y'all. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Too bad we lost a member today who said they was tired of the channel. Somebody got tired. They were tired of the chat. It got to the point they didn't like the chat anymore. They said they had to leave my channel. They didn't like it anymore. I mean, as long as everybody has their opinion. As long as you're not cussing or saying racist stuff. I mean, respect everybody's opinion, you know. Not everybody is going to agree with you. That's just how it is, man. Not everybody agrees with me when I feel a way about these my triple threat. You know, I think Manon and Miranda and Taylor are good top level fighters that are coming up and we're potential top level fighters. Not everybody agrees with me, but I'm not going to block y'all. But yeah, BJ, we lost somebody today. Said they didn't like the channel anymore. They got sick of everybody in the chat, so Marcus booted him. No, I'm just saying, like, nobody said anything racial, but everybody was just voicing their opinion today about the topic. And somebody didn't like it, and they were in there arguing. I guess, I don't know. Like I said, I'm talking, and I didn't really see any harsh words used, but they just didn't like that everybody had a difference of opinion, and they said they were leaving the channel. So I said, okay. Yeah, you go back, BJ. I mean, this was a long live, so I mean, you can scrub on back. Stamina said the true test will be when you hear people inform you that folks be talking mess about you, calling you out of your name on other channels. That's when it's real. Oh yeah, that's when it's real. Oh yeah. But it is what it, I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, yeah, I can't insinuate anything on that. I am not going to insinuate that Laz coach is doing such a thing. I'm not the type of person to just make allegations like that. I ain't going to insinuate that. The way he was talking to her was as gentle but as real as possible. Yeah, BJ. V. Kendra said, who would you put money on this weekend's card? I'll let you know tomorrow. If you come in tomorrow at 7 p.m., B. Kendra, I'll let you know. I am not making any picks right now. We'll be on tomorrow. Yeah, man, I was like, dang, he climbed up out of the crib. He was like, gone. I was like, dang, man, I did something. I did something that you don't like the channel. God, dog, man, come on. He been dogged on other channels. Yeah, we ain't doing that over here. If anything, go subscribe to BJ from No Filter MMA. You know what I mean? Like, we don't see eye to eye, and that's the whole point of it. Everybody brings something to the table. So, I ain't dogging nobody. Like, BJ, no, never. So, make sure you subscribe to BJ's channel, No Filter MMA. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Vittori. I like Vittori. I think Vittori is stronger. I like Vittori over Costa. I think Vittori is stronger. I think his kicks are better. I think his clinch game looks better too, man. That's just me. Like, I need to go back and look a little bit on these fights, but yeah, I gotta go with Vittori. Just an early look over Costa. Good fight though. I don't know. I don't see it going the distance though. If it goes the distance, somebody's gonna have they're gonna have some medals of honor there. I think Jocelyn Edward. See, I'm not giving my picks yet. Hold off till tomorrow. Let's hold off on these picks. Oh man, BJ said Costa gonna fold Vittori. Ooh. Think so? Yeah, man. Robot Chicken. That's why I can't pick him, man. Cause no, I ain't gonna hold that against him. I mean, he got taken advantage of. So yeah, I can't pick him. I can't pick him because he got. Vittori over Costa, a man that ignorant. That's what I'm saying, man. This is a meathead battle. I mean, this is meatheads, and I think Vittori, he's the major meathead, man. That's why I'm like, this guy likes to bang. Like, he'll wrestle, he'll clinch up, and I think he's just as strong. I mean, I don't know if he's as powerful, but I think he's strong. This is a battle of the meatheads for sure. Yeah, BJ, you said that with Costa versus Izzy, and Izzy macheted his legs. Izzy macheted Costa's legs up, and then took advantage of him. Yeah, no, I gotta go with Vittori in this. I mean, styles make fights, and you never know. Like, Costa might be able to land on him because their approach might be different. The respect level is different. They might go at it more. But I gotta go with Vittori, man. Brian Williams said Colton gassed out like, yeah. And over here, I got the tank of I got Caitlin Chikagan's tank over here, man. We keep going, man. I got BJ know that, and we on here 3 hours, man. I got Caitlin Chikagan cardio. I got the Caitlin Chikagan cardio. Nobody touches that, man. I think everybody knows that. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, the press is gonna be crazy. Yeah, I'm ready to see the press. Yeah. Dang, man. Robot Chicken said Bruce Leroy gonna get finished this weekend. Kind of losing momentum on him, huh? BJ said he definitely got that Vivi cardio. I'll be like, I got Joanna stamina, boy. I got that Caitlin Chikagan cardio, man. I'll be going, man. Yeah, I told you, he definitely be, Izzy, like I said, no problem with that. I'm just saying, like, maybe if he was more open about it, and we didn't have to say, oh, he's sus, if he was a little bit more open, I think we'd be like, okay, cool, that's fine with me, which it is. I mean, Nunes, that's cool. Andrade, that's cool. If Izzy chose to open up like that, I'd be like, okay, that's fine too, instead of trying to put the moves on people. I mean, just be that. Just be it. I'm cool with that. Instead of putting the moves on guys in here and, acting the parts out, just, if that's you, own up to it. That's cool. BJ said, Izzy got a girl, though. I'm sure. We've seen that before. I've seen that before. They have girls and might have, Anyways, that's another talk. Rick Henry said Vittori had the best press conference moments, in my opinion. So many goats. Well, Robot Chicken, that wasn't my point. There's more, there's other options out there, There's another option out there, There's 3 options for Izzy. Yeah, that too, Stamina. I mean, yeah, he just likes to play around, but most people don't like to play like that. And most people don't like to play like that, especially another man, like being physical. Like if you're just talking, that's one thing, but if you're being physical, somebody bent over, they don't want to play like that. So it's not that people uptight. It's just kind of like, to me, don't do that to somebody that doesn't want to play like that. Like, if I'm bent over, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. A level of respect at that point. That's what it is to me. Like, you beat the guy, don't gyrate your hips on him like that. Unless he asks you to. I don't know. That's B. Kendra said, please go back and rewatch Vittori press moments if you don't remember. Yeah, I'll go back and look. I gotta go back and look. But let's wrap this thing up here. We'll be back on at 7 tomorrow. And BJ, like I said, the door is open tomorrow. Come on in. Hope you got your talking points again about Montana. We can go in and discuss what we were talking about. I got all day tomorrow too. So work on your stamina, work on your cardio. It might be a long one. Yeah, Stammer, that's my point that I'm making. Though, it's like, people shouldn't be uptight about that, but I mean, what he's doing is what I'm uptight about. Like, don't touch another person like that. That's not a joke. Especially if the other guy doesn't want you doing that. Don't do that. Yeah, that's why you say I can't co-sign that. Yeah, like I don't, and he shouldn't do that. Like, I thought you thought people were just being uptight about the fact of being that way. Okay, BJ gonna serve the smoke. Okay. So yeah, guys, let me get up out of here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like always, hit the thumbs up. Keep hitting that thumbs up. That's the only way notifications go through. And I keep on doing these, man. But yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. 7:15 roughly. 7:30 maybe. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.